deep in an underground secret Pacific Island lair, Pop Culture Minefield presents Saturday Morning Fun Time. This is the Comic Relief Crusader telling you to get your morning cereal ready, because here we go.
There we go. Hi, everybody. Hope you're having a good Saturday.
Happy Saturday, nerds.
We had wanted to do Tom and I talked to Tom this morning, and he just trying to get back, and he couldn't get back in time. So I'm like, don't worry about it. We'll do something else. And wanted to do this scanners thing. So, and he may drop in. I don't know if he's able to get back in time. Also, Keith won't be here. He's out doing stuff with his dad today. And it is Dad Saturday. Also, I've been considering changing the name of the show today to Saturday Matinee Fun Time. Because pretty much, I think as we move forward, we're mostly going to be talking about films. But I'm sure we'll break down every once in a while and do a TV show. But I really like talking about movies because we get to do the slideshows. That's why I like them. And of course, Martin, I think, is still producing the slideshow right now. So we probably won't hear much from Martin for a little bit. That's yummy. Caffeine is always yummy. Jace is in the audience. Hey, Jace. Let's see who all's here. Let's see. We got Jace is first in the house today with his comment. What the fuck is that? I don't know what that is.
It's an emoji of the pink hand waving.
Oh.
Yeah, those are smileys that StreamYard is not showing us.
All right. And then Andy Morrow is here. And, Anima, of course, is here. And Anima wants to confirm, too, that I'm a complete jerk, even in private.
I think nobody's surprised by that.
I was trying to find this 80s song, and I have the one that Tom did for us, because I said, man, re-record the song Ladies Night and replace the lyrics with 80s Night. And he did. He fucking did it. But anyway, I couldn't find the because I was going to play it in the background. Great 80s synth music, but that we won't get copyright struck on because it's from YouTube. Yay! But Penny is in the house too. Hi, Penny. And let's see. Jay said something else here. What is this? Hail the chat. Yes, of course. Hail to you. Lord Thoth is here. All hail Lord Thoth. And we also, by the way, Steven's in the chat, but he's also here on the show. Deleted Scenes, our good friend. Connie Cleary is here. Look at that. Mm-hmm. And let's see who else is here. Tree Rock Creations, who's busy editing a video right now. I know this because we talked on Twitter. And but he said he was going to listen in on the show. So, and of course, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite films of all time. Scanners came out in 1981. It came out before I turned 17. I was still 16. And so my dad had to take me to go see it in the movie theater. And in fact, I've told this story. The first R-rated film I went to go see without my dad was Blade Runner. And it was right after my 18th birthday. So let's see. What is this? All hell, yeah, of course, back to you, sir. And long time no see, y'all. Good to be here. Jace, if you want to jump on to talk about this movie, if you've seen the film, you're welcome to do it, my friend.
I don't have his info, so if any of you can please send him the link.
He should be. Isn't he in that group?
I can't remember at the moment. I'm
our
old.
PCM, where's it at? Saturday. I may have to go to. Yeah, I think I have to go to Pop Culture account. But I'm pretty sure he is in there. At least he was. Let's see. Let me get an invite. Invite to copy. Penny says, good morning to us. Yes, of course.
Hello
so you don't know what. So he was in the group. Let me find out what's going on. I'm going to specifically add him to the Saturday Morning Fun Time group. Once it loads, what is going on? And by the way, still, on my personal account, I think it is still showing as Twitter and not. Yeah, look at this shit. Let me show my screen.
That is so weird. I
Show
think
my
you're the
screen.
only person on the planet who has
I
that.
have done clear, cache refresh, everything. Nothing works. And when I am on my personal account, I still get the little blue bird of Twitter.
Quicks.
It doesn't matter what I do. You do a clear refresh, and it still has it. I have no idea why.
You're just weird, Gary.
Has nothing to do with me personally.
Oh, it's everything to do with you.
It's just weird.
That is what a weird person would say.
Oh yeah, claiming that it's somebody else's fault, that it's their personal fault when something doesn't work. Yeah, I agree. Oh, did I turn your words against you, Martin?
Stop bullying the guy.
I am not paying attention.
Oh, it's okay when he does it to me, but it's bullying when I do it back.
Of course. That's the rules here. Shit on Gary all you want, but leave Pumatine in peace.
All right, let me get back to it. Won't load. Okay, I had to close it and then start it back over again. There we go. All right. I'm just going to send it to him. Here we go. I think that's still his account. Control V. Send. All right. Now, refresh. And I'm going to look for the Saturday Morning Funtime group. Morning coffee. There it is. Now I'll go into who's in there. You guys are welcome to talk while I'm doing stuff.
It's so fun to listen to you.
Yeah.
I'm only talking because you all aren't.
No, you always talk when you're doing stuff.
Oh.
It's something you do.
Yeah, he's not in there. Add people?
Maybe you took him out because he hasn't been coming on for a while?
No. I have no idea why he wouldn't be on there. But I've added you back onto the group. I don't know why you wouldn't be on there.
Hey, Scribelight and Chinatsky and Maria T with Telly. T and Telly.
Nice crowd. 18 people.
Scribe ladies here. Yeah, Scribe saw my post. I was talking about how, and I really would like to do a show talking about this, because, a couple of our friends said that people watch crap movies because they eventually will realize that it's bad. And I went, no, that's not true. I mean, it might be true for a handful, but there is a larger number of people out there that don't understand irony. So it's that group of people that watch bad TV and keep watching.
Thinking that it's good.
Yeah, they just don't know. They don't understand story structure, themes, premise, plot, all of that stuff. And they just keep
Plot
watching
holes,
stuff.
inconsistencies.
All they want is the entertainment. They're looking for just the constant entertainment and not anything of value. They don't seek value. Whereas there are those of us who value our time. So therefore, when we take time out of our valuable day of doing other things, we decide to watch something else. We want it to be worth our while. And
I'm sorry.
Well, Star Wars, Star Wars was not made for us.
You just spent all the time aiding Jason back to the group, and now he's telling you he hasn't seen the movie.
Jace, you dickhead.
I love when somebody out.
I swear to God, I love Jace. I love Jace, but sometimes he can be a complete twat.
It doesn't matter. I only saw half of the movie.
You got duped out, Gary.
Jeez. So, I mean, you can at least stop in and say hi. Is that today's show? Today's?
He should say it like the Joker in the hospital.
You think I've got a plan?
No. Hi. With
I'm a
that-
dog chasing a car. Which is not true, because he had a plan.
Yeah, he was lying through his makeup.
Absolutely lying. So, well, I will tell you something fun. I was going in and doing some edits on a song that I wrote and recorded. But when I got to the end of it, I realized the original drum rolls that I've recorded, I don't have enough. Because I feel like there are places where I need to do a different drum roll, as we move into or out of, from one measure to the next. And I'm like, crud. So I'm going to have to redo the drums on the song. Oh, Jesse's
Fortunately,
here.
there's an app for that.
An app for what?
Drums.
What do you mean?
Well, he said you need to redo drums, and I said, fortunately, there's an app for that.
Does it sound real though?
Are they real drums? Because I like playing real drums.
No, it's sit drums. But
Well, thanks for your input, John.
and you wonder why I'm quiet all the time.
He makes such a big deal of having the real sound of the instruments. Why would he go for synthetic?
No,
drums?
don't dig into John anymore. No, it's a lot of those things. They're analog
Oh,
apps. They actually have real drums recorded. And actually, I used to have a program when I wanted to, before I would go into the studio, I would be at my computer and I would lay down a basic drum track of what the beat I would want on something is. Then I'd start composing some of the music over it. And then I would go back later in the my home studio, and I would re-record the drums with the headset on so it would help me keep meter. I'm not one of those drummers who needs a metronome, but it helps. And I will absolutely use it if I can. Hey, I'm from Norway, haha. Yeah. Oh, wait, no. No, the show is called Swedish Dicks with Keanu Reeves. Did anybody ever watch that show?
mm-mm.
No, I have it on my list.
That's why it got canceled. Nobody watched it. I think it was one of the only people to watch it. Swedish Dicks. Keanu Reeves was, I think he was the main villain in it. And
I
it
didn't
was
know
a good
Keanu
show.
was on there.
What?
I didn't know Keanu was in there
Yeah.
because
You only see him, I think, in 2 or 3 episodes. Hold on, let me look that show up again. Because I forget the Stormare. That's it. It just popped into my head. Peter Stormare is one of the main characters. The 2017? 2016. But it ran through 18. So it got 2 seasons. Swedish Dicks. Let me pop up on screen here. Your screen.
Sounds like an adult film title.
I know.
Absolutely,
Totally.
yeah.
This is it right here. Swedish Dicks. It stars Peter Stormare, and Keanu Reeves is in it. And there he is. He plays Tex. He's in all 13 episodes. I have to go back and watch it. Or 13, the first season. Tracy Lords is in it. That's Walter Koenig's daughter, by the way. Stephanie Koenig.
oh,
I thought there was somebody else of merit, and I'm just not seeing it. I could have sworn I remember somebody else in it. It's a funny show. It's weird.
well, with that name and premise, it should be.
But absolutely, I enjoyed it. But if
Does
more
that mean I
people
have
watch
to add
it,
another one to the list? Because that list is getting ridiculous.
now I'll never share that show with you because I just don't see you enjoying that show.
Oh, okay. Because currently we are simultaneously watching 9 shows. It's ridiculous.
More like 200, because just as soon as I show you a show, I go, "Oh, this reminds me of this other show."
Yeah. Welcome to my life, guys.
Oh, you did watch it. Okay, you liked the show there. So I guess Jace was the only other person that watched.
Probably.
So anyway, so I'm looking at either, because if I can find a program like the one I had previously, I can actually write, because I know how to write drum notes. So I can write out the drums and do the drums that way on here, and it'll still be real. But I prefer using my drums. So I actually have, and I've showed it to Anima, I have 2 folders on my hard drive. It's close to about 20 gigs of just my drums doing different things. And so I'll eventually finish the song. Eventually. So.
Or you
There
can
you
pull on George R. Martin and never end it.
What's that?
Or you can pull out a George R. Martin and never finish the song.
Sometimes I feel like him, because like Vindicated, it's taken me forever to get back to and fix.
That is true.
I mean, I've been working on that for 10 years.
Man, you owe to the world publishing that thing.
Yeah, I agree.
If Martin doesn't finish the books, then I'll learn necromancy and dig his ass up and force him to finish the book.
I'll join you with that. I'm absolutely in with that.
Do you
the
remember?
Man.
Do you remember when he posted that picture that he was watching this show on TV, that he really liked this show? I can't remember what the hell it was. It was a fantasy show or a sci-fi show that he's big. It might have been The Expanse. And he posted pictures wearing the hat and, you know, big supporter of The Expanse. I said, that's great. Stop watching TV. Finish the book. And I tagged him in it.
Right?
Stop watching TV. Finish the goddamn book.
I like the plan with the necromancy. But
Yeah,
John needs
Jason
somebody
has a
to help
suggestion.
him, because when John casts a spell, there's a 50% chance that he misses.
So you have faith in faith in John, is what you're saying.
We're not on Friday or Wednesday, so
I
none of
forgot
that.
the bullying is for Wednesday and Friday. Okay, I'll try to keep that in mind.
Oh man, no. I can't with this. These two are becoming too good snipers.
So I guess I can, let's see, how big is that file? It might allow us to upload it. I'm trying to upload the song right now.
I don't think you're wrong.
No.
Go on the writer's strike years before that happened. That's true. He's been on strike for over a decade.
He's on permanent strike because Hollywood finished finally. He still is.
He's still on strike from the 2008 strike.
All right.
Was it 2008?
Strike every 3 years.
Oh.
So here we go, guys. I'm going to go ahead and play the song. Okay. But I've got to go back in and fix the drums because I'm not happy with the drums. Think?
I I hear what you're
Works for
saying
me.
about the drums, though.
Well, yeah, because the drums are they're my drums. That's a Ludwig wood snare, and but I feel like I need to change up the drum roll intros and outros. So I'm just gonna eventually fix it, and hopefully soon. I've already looked into renting some time in a recording studio that I've worked at before. Because Play Studios here in Springfield is a really good studio. What's that, Martin?
Very beautiful song. Very beautiful. I really liked it.
And that's
And
a real baby grand piano too, by the way.
And by now, some Jerry Kusal in whatever part of the world is claiming the stream.
It's usually from either deepest, darkest Congo or South America, where people claim my music. And I'm like, what are you doing? This is my music. More cowbell.
Of course.
And that's the other thing on the chorus. I need to put a ride in there. And the ride that's recorded didn't sound right. I need to be up higher on the bell of the ride. Be interested to hear the track without drums. I could do that. Because I have the original recording, the whole studio recording. So Acid Pro is awesome. I tell people all the time that, I've had Pro Tools. I've used music tools, including Pro Tools, for doing music. But the fact is Acid Pro is faster. It uses less of your resources, so you're able to do more on it before it starts lagging. I'm sorry, can you hear the background?
Nope.
Okay, good. All right, so I'll remove the drums. There we go. And I'll show you the new outro. I did this just for Anima. She likes this one.
Yeah, because I'm not a fan of fade outs. So he went and actually gave me an ending to the song, which is really sweet.
What's that?
I said I don't like the fade out outros of songs. So you went and wrote an ending, and I think it's really sweet that he did that.
Well, because the fade out was actually part of the way I recorded it. I wanted to fade out, but the fact is, for you, I'm like, yeah, if I play this live, there is an ending to the song.
Hey, Steven.
No, Steve's here.
I don't know why. Martin sent me a link, and I didn't even know the subject. Hi, guys.
We're going to be discussing scanners here in a few minutes.
Oh, I always wanted to talk about Gary's neck brace. I think he needs some googly eyes, and he can make it into a puppet. And now he just...
Can you hear it okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, this is without drums. Read by
nice.
nature.
I sleep and dream at night. I dream and sleep and die. Still wake up alone. Then I wash my face
And it's, what it sounds like without
I
drums.
love Creed.
Oh,
I'm
What are
kidding.
you, kitty cat? You love cream?
Creed. Never mind, Gary.
It's like
Here we go. This is how it ends now. There you go. If something sounds discordant, I can't help you. I have a natural ear for music, and I don't hear anything discordant. It might be something going through the internet, web
Or StreamYards.
There's absolutely nothing discordant in that.
Hey, Kitty Bear's in the house.
Kitty Bear. No, only the outro vocals are. The main vocals aren't. Those are what are referred to as background vocals. And so they're meant to be drowned out a little bit. And that's what I think about that. Jeff PDX. So Kitty Bear's here. Anybody else popped in while we're doing that?
Yeah, Read by Nature.
I see Shinatsky jumped in with us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The two biggest asshole friends I have are both here.
I love you too, Gary.
Assholes are like magnets.
Wait a
They
minute.
attract each
Let's
other.
see if the other one knows who I'm talking about. Hold on. Let's see if the other one knows who I'm referring to.
What? I don't know what
He's being quiet on purpose.
Who?
Steven.
Just remember, with arms wide open is considered a chant to summon demons in some areas of the country.
The what?
Yeah, don't listen to Shinatsky on that. It's not true. Kitty Bear vocals need push. Again, backing vocals. The part at the end is backing vocals. It's not a lead vocal. All the lead vocals are actually high and sit forward, but it has not been engineered yet. I will actually probably let a pro do that.
Hey, Ben.
Maybe they mean because
this girl is here.
your singing voice is very soft. Maybe that's what they mean.
Yeah.
But guys, if Gary goes full on voice, he's destroying the microphone.
I broke two microphones.
Yeah, he has to stand like
the
a mile
microphones
away.
I use have cardioid diaphragms in them, and I will hit a level that I will crack them. And so, like when I did backing vocals on Building on the Silence, I had to stand 10 feet away from the microphone because I have that weird ability.
And you couldn't tell, it's still so loud.
A lot of you guys, Penny's heard my music. She knows what I'm talking about. I'm very good at yelling in key. And I have to stand 10 feet away from a microphone because I will break them and have broken them. Unlike some of my friends who have broken mirrors.
Oh, my.
It was just that one time.
There we go. Thank you. One of you.
I didn't want to say anything.
The joke.
And you go and spill the beans.
Yeah, that's because you like ruining jokes. Stephen made the joke for me. Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah, you ruined it, Marty.
He is hanging out with his dad today. It's dad time. And I think they went shopping when I was talking to him. They went shopping today. Well, Kitty Bear, sounds like you need to get your hearing checked. Shots fired. No, like I said, the album's not, the song hasn't been engineered yet. So each track is separate, and I'll let an engineer fix them. I don't do that stuff. I'm not an engineer.
You'll fix it in post, in other words.
No. Well, once you record it, everything is done in post. I mean,
my dad could do that for you, Gary.
It's just referred to as engineering in music, but yeah.
My dad learned that.
What?
He could do that for you.
What?
Working on music.
Hey, Dragon
like
Bruce in the
Oh,
house.
I will not do anything. No. I want zero relationship with your dad.
Yeah. I would never ask him.
Yeah, I would never know.
I
have to be cool with people for me to work with them.
Remember, Gary is Kirk, not Scotty.
So this movie that we're watching today is
fucking amazing.
I saw it when I was 16, and it had a huge impact on me, like Blade Runner would later. And it is one of the few filmmakers that we have today from Canada. And it's David Cronenberg. David Cronenberg was a Canadian filmmaker. And the entire film is shot in Montreal. And that's why in like the mall scene at the opening, all the stores are in French. The names. Le Bux.
I didn't catch that because I never pay attention to stores' names, because even in US movies, I don't know half of them. So
I look at everything.
Don't they say in the movie where it's taking place, like they're not trying to hide it like most movies shot in Canada do?
I don't know, but I think it's pretty obvious that it's in Canada.
And not all movies hide the location of Canada. Vancouver's used quite a bit, so is Toronto.
Amazing amount,
especially for sci-fi.
And they can't hide it when they have to show the locations in the credits. So that kind of defeats the whole argument right there.
Almost the entirety of X-Files was shot in Canada.
Oh yeah, it was. Resident Evil was shot there. That weird building that has the saucer in the middle is actually Toronto City Hall. Where they did the wall scene, that actually is where the Courier hangout I used to hang out is. They have a Courier bar there. That was Hall, just one little side street in between Yonge Street and Bay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Just simply put, a lot of stuff is shot in Canada. I think that Canada is some really good filmmakers and actors. Some of our favorite actors, when you look back, are Canadian. Ryan Reynolds, 1. 2, William Shatner.
Alan Thicke.
Who? What?
Alan Thicke, you can consider him.
Alan Thicke. Yeah, I miss him.
Another thing is, if you guys remember the opening scene for Resident Evil, when they're going across that bridge, you see all the trucks.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually Broadview Bridge.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was part of my region because I covered, what was it? I think from Broadview to Dufferin, Eglinton to the Lakeshore. That was my whole area of the downtown Toronto core. Not as a hooker. I mean, as a bike messenger before you make a hooker joke.
I'm not. No, I was laughing because Kitty Bear said this. I do not need my hearing check.
Okay.
I was just teasing you, Kitty Bear. Like I said, when the engineer gets a hold of it, it'll fix all that stuff. I don't do that.
Thank God for autotune.
I would never use that. I hate autotune, man. What it does, it makes
sucks.
Voices sound fake. It's just not right. It's just weird. And why people think it's good, it's just like, I can hear it when it's being used. Because what ends up happening is it's normal for your voice to do this a little bit when you're singing, okay? And what autotune does is it finds that where you do that, and then it makes it flat and level at one specific note. And you can hear it when it does it.
It's so lazy to use stuff like that.
The funny part of it, right? You know where they found autotune? Where is it coming from?
Canada.
No. It was a guy who was using, was it psionic waves or something like that, to search for oil at the bottom of the sea. He discovered that the program that they had developed to look for it could also do stuff to voices.
That's wild. Really?
Yeah, it was. I forget the exact specifics of it, but it was basically something that was to help search for oil, and then just was found for another use.
Damn, I had no idea. That's really cool. Once again, thank you, science. But use the voice. What's this? What is this about? Use the voice, risk the injury. Oh, when you're talking about range. Okay. I think people need to be careful when they're singing and only work in ranges. Like what I was always taught is to sing with your speaking voice. Don't try to sing in different ranges, because that's where you stop using the proper tools in singing and you begin to use your throat, which will hurt your voice.
Always warm up. Never skip the warm up.
Remember what happened to Adele? Because she did that and she almost lost the ability to sing.
Oh yeah, she tore her throat, right?
She tore her throat, and they went in and did surgery, and there was no guarantee she'd be able to sing afterward, but she could.
Yeah, you can develop blisters on your vocal cords.
She had to change how she sings, and now she sings properly. John Lennon would lose his voice after every live show, because he sang from here.
Yeah, that's not healthy.
It would kill his
You
voice.
got diaphragm, right? You gotta, basically.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid that word because we have a lot of filthy assholes watch the show.
Say's the biggest asshole of all of them.
I know.
You need one
Corn
to
Pop was a
recognize
bad
another.
dude.
Diaphragm was a bad dude.
That diaphragm was a dirty old dude. Always up in women's business.
What do you mean I fell up the stairs? I remember falling up the stairs. Did I fall up the stairs? I thought I was walking backwards.
Could you imagine if Joe Biden learned how to moonwalk?
Can you imagine if Joe Biden learned how to walk and ride a bike?
Julie Andrews.
He's too old for that.
Hold on. Julie Andrews. God damn it.
Do it again, Martin.
Lost most of her abilities. She tried doing concert decades ago, but failed. So what are we saying, Reed? That she lost her ability to sing?
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
It happens to opera singers a lot when they take on roles that are too big and they are still too young and not experienced enough. But they are eager to do it because they are big roles. So a lot of opera singers have to quit at a very young age because they just ruined their voices.
You know, outside big roles.
Ruined.
I can't say it differently, you know that, idiot.
Ruined, Ryan. It's
Ruined, Brian.
Fuck you, Gary.
So they take big things that ruin their
Welcome, Lady
vocal
Miss.
cords.
Oh, Vinkman's girl is here, and Lady
Oh
Miss.
yeah.
Hi. So, is the slideshow ready?
No, it's rendering. It's like 10%.
Okay, so let's just keep talking.
I will not be staying the
I
whole
told you
time,
so.
but I thought I'd pop in because I'm still doing
Well, I appreciate it because look, this is one of my favorite films of all time, and
I'm
it,
staying
in
the whole
fact,
time, but I thought I'd pop
it
in.
is.
What the hell was that?
That was Stephen.
That
That
was
wasn't me.
Stephen.
No, that wasn't me.
No, that was me.
It was
Ah.
you, but it was on Stephen's.
Oh.
I don't know what happened there because I've
Hey.
got the echo turned on, echo cancellation turned on for him.
Hey, Steven,
shouldn't be
do you
doing
still
that.
have that porn collection of DVDs behind you?
Why do you think he's off camera?
For
jerk?
the last time, it is not entirely porn. It is only.
Oh, it's not. Now it's
partially
moved
porn.
on from it's not porn to entirely porn. It only took 8 months.
It's only one bookshelf. The entire bookshelf.
One.
I have
One
one
shelf.
DVD that tells me how to use the DVD player, and the rest is porn.
Oh, Penny is back.
Even it's not
Penny
porn, they're
says-
art films.
Penny says that Julie Andrews had a botched throat surgery that
Yeah.
led to that.
Love you, Salated. Don't hurt me. The quiet ones are the biggest psychos.
None of the holes.
You
in this
have no
show
idea.
are ever.
I have an idea.
around.
That's why I wear rubber.
One of the only people who
Oh my.
Not condoms, Martin. Calm down.
the
Hey,
Look,
Reed,
I got to tell you
that's a
something,
good
Reed.
combination, though.
Christopher Lee is metal.
Yeah.
You don't get a more metal dude.
he was
Ever
related.
listen to early Nightwish when they had Tara as a lead singer? She was an opera singer, and it works phenomenal.
Who?
Yeah, no.
It is Nightwish.
Nightwish.
Who?
That's Nightwish. That's a Finnish metal band.
Metal band.
And they used to have a female
There's-
opera singer as their lead.
They're symphonic power metal.
So good.
Even
Oh my God.
even now, I know Nightwish.
I would love to see Julie Andrews to be the lead singer for Cradle of Filth. I would like to see how that went.
This is amazing. Kitty Bear says that Stephen's 50% porn, the rest is hentai.
Wow. Well, at least you're
Oh,
getting in the
hentai
animated
and art.
films.
15%. 15% hentai.
Hi, Chris.
Hey,
Hey, Chris.
look who's
How are
here.
Chris
you
is here.
doing?
Hey, Chris.
We miss you.
Yeah, he should jump on if he's got time.
Yeah, he's all about the fact that the effects in this movie are awesome.
He's got a bunch of fighter jets flying over his house right now.
I saw that picture. Hold on. Let me see if I can
What?
find it. Yeah, fighter jets flying over his house, and he took a
Okay.
snapshot of him flying over.
Chris, what did
They're
you
using
do?
it for practice.
Well, first of all, he lives in Texas.
Oh,
Oh, well.
I rest my
They
case.
have a hell of an Air National Guard there, but there's a lot of military. Here it is. I hope it's okay. I'm going to show this. All right, here we go. Share screen. There it is.
Hey, Chris, I sent you a name, right? Jump in.
So there you go. These keep flying over my neighborhood today.
Those trainers, what? They're
Nope,
not
those are
Hornet.
fighters.
Those aren't.
Holy shit.
They still use trainers. Still are fighter jets, though. They're just de-armed, aren't they? We used to have CF-18 Hornets flying over our head all the
No,
time when
they're
we were down in China.
pixelated.
Those look like super. Those are either Hornets or they're Super Falcons.
It's armed.
No,
Wait,
Hornets.
that can't be a
Yeah,
real
it's the end
picture,
of the
though. That can't be a real picture, though. There's no pilots jumping out and letting it fly for 60 more miles. Oh, come on. Come on, that was good.
Oh.
Too soon, man.
No,
It's not
the
too
weather-
soon.
Weather's too nice for
Too
that.
soon, man.
Martin, how's that slideshow coming along?
Oh, well, that's a good way to.
You know, I cannot speed up this, right?
I know.
I'm
I know, but we
30%.
do need to check with you because the show's also going.
Yeah, you should have rendered it on TikTok.
41
It
minutes.
will be ready when it will be ready.
Hey,
Okay, that was
hey,
between
Chris.
John and Martin there.
That was me.
It was you.
Oh,
Hey,
good to
Christopher,
see
you
you, man.
It is.
You find any
Are you-
fighter jets in your backyard yet?
I've been looking. Are you receiving me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
I
what
just
are
didn't
you-
want to make.
I'm
You know-
receiving
It is
you all
the chat.
right. It's okay. It's not great.
You look kind of white.
I'm cleaning the studio at the moment. We are getting ready for a motion capture shoot for Escape from Planet Omega 12. So I'm sweating my ass off here, working to get all these boxes, all this stuff in order, out of the way of the green screen. We're bringing in she's going to dress as the character, which you know what she looks like. You've seen the designs.
Yes.
He's going to be working with props and rolling on the ground and doing all this crazy stuff. She's fantastic. You guys. But yes, I'm like, what are we declaring World War III so we can skip the like what's going on?
Dude, when I was in Phoenix, man, that we were constantly having maneuvers going over our head with helicopters and fighters. But I'm going to tell you something. What I like about like the title of your film, The Escape from Planet Omega 12, I swear to God, you have tapped into John Carpenter.
Yes.
And gotten a John Carpenter title to your story. And I like that.
I also got to give you credit, Christopher. That is the best cosplay of Gary's internet connection I've ever heard.
See, now Kitty Bear.
You, Gary, because I knew you were in the hospital for a while. I was worried, so I'm good to get back in action. And apologize for being on as much.
It's spot
Now
on.
you're not.
No, what happened? Where'd it go?
Nice freeze.
We go over here. Yeah, it's been crazy, and like as you know, I got contracted with Apple. That's I can't really talk about it, but it's blowing up, and it's oh, the missus is here. You looking for something? No. But yeah, big things are happening all around. I'm very fortunate. I feel like I kind of won the lottery in terms of who I'm getting to work for, and the fact that you guys still let me on here.
You're a close friend of ours, man. What are you talking about?
Well, I appreciate that, Gary. There's not too many people who would admit to that.
Okay, we know he's our friend. We're all good. It's good.
Yeah, Gary
It's
took the blame.
scary. It's scary. You can't be
42%.
picky with friends.
Can I
So
have a
yeah,
producer credit? By the way, I know how easy that would to get them. Can I have a producer credit?
so that'll be $5,000. Just no,
Okay, $5,000.
Now,
$5,000. You got $5,000, right?
Actually, I
Who
do.
doesn't?
I do.
Oh,
Actually, yes.
and Fat
but
Steven, one of Fat Steven's rules is he will do gay stuff above the waist for that credit.
Well, Gary will just make eye contact while doing gay stuff over the
above
waist.
the waist.
how do you think I got this gig in the first place?
I don't know. What do they do at Apple? I'm kind of scared.
I don't know. No, I'm talking this show. This
Oh,
show.
my God, I got it wrong.
You don't want to know what they do at Apple.
Look at that. There's something wrong with my sensor. It's
You don't wanna
telling me
know what
I'm
they
I'm
do.
at 251 blood sugar, but
No,
it's
that's
not.
BS.
It's-
I'm terrified how they
150.
test the waterproofing of the iPhones for what they have to do.
Oh, that has nothing to do with me. I'm doing graphics. We actually had like this. We have an amazing team at Apple. They're actually they're weird. They're foul mouthed. They're spastic. They're everything I love about being on this show. So I fit right in. But yeah, I wanted to pop in and say hello because I will always be pop culture minefield forever. And of course, I saw Christopher Lee. Which
as soon as they finally figure out how shitty a person you are and fire you from Apple, you're welcome back.
Well, I'm hoping, man. I'm glad you're excited about Escape from Planet Omega 12 because I got to tell you,
I still expect you to hire me to do the poster.
Yes, we're going to be doing
style poster.
I am a firm believer that every good movie needs multiple posters in different styles. Drew Struzan, the what do you call it? Not Funko Pop. They bought him. What is it? The Mondo style.
I like the Mondo styles.
Val Merrick did a poster. I've already done a poster. I'm wondering how this is going to be received because it's everything that we love. It's in the tradition of Ray Harryhausen, Forbidden Planet, Green Slime, a little bit of Barbarella, even though I don't like Barbarella. I kind of like what Barbarella could. What else? Captain Kirk, Star Trek, like William Shatner, DeForest Kelley, Leonard Nimoy, Captain Kirk. Like no one's gonna lay it down like those guys, but that's an inspiration. Original trilogy Star Wars. And we're blending, hold on. Hopefully I don't lose the connection by moving, but I think I've shown you my little friend before. Here he comes. Oh,
oh yeah, that is so cool.
So, stuff, we're doing miniatures, practical effects, puppets. We're doing, but we're also using AI. We're, AI animation, which is what Isla, the model who's coming in, we recorded recently with Emmy winner Bill Oberst Jr., who's a good friend of mine. He's a big Ray Bradbury fan. And that
was the best model in the history of models.
By the way, you brought up Mondo. This is one of my favorite Mondo posters right here.
Oh, let's see it. Oh, yeah, that's a nice one. They do some really cool stuff. I love alternative posters. I love people putting their own spin, their own graphic design on things. I will say this, and I won't keep you guys too long because I know you actually got a show to do, and I've got to get back to packing all this stuff up. But I do love you guys. Well, that I'm trying to nail down Sarah Frazetta to do the voice of the main character.
Well, she's coming back on here in November. Remember, take advantage of her being a friend of mine.
Oh yeah, well, she's amazing. She hasn't committed. She wants to do it, but because of her time schedule and stuff, she hasn't committed entirely. She was in a short film that we shot last year that I haven't gotten edited together yet because it still needs some scenes. But I really want her on board. And there is another person that we have a contact with, which I cannot say, that I think would be a great voice for the show. It's a long shot, but I
accept.
Man, it's too bad that you guys aren't here because I could actually put you in front of the green screen and kill you as crew members that die in the battle. But anyway, that would be fun. Yeah. How can I say this without like giving away something that I just couldn't announce? I'll say this: if we get this particular voice actor, we will be picking up all the goodwill that Disney Star Wars put down in a nasty way. It's a long shot, but that's all I'm going to say. Just keep your fingers crossed, because if I get this person, we will be going, I drink your milkshake. I drink it up.
You got Kylo Ren?
My milkshake brings all the...
My milkshake's going to bring all the pissed off Star Wars fans to the yard. But this is definitely not Star Wars. This is something that's, like I said, it's taking all those classic sci-fis that we love, using modern technology with a lot of the old school techniques. And it's just like, I'm so excited about it. And, you know, I'm really making this for you guys. And I don't just mean you guys on the show, but everyone that listens to these things, everyone, you know, that listens to Midnight's Edge, to Doomcock, to your boy Zach, to Eric July, like all the people who are going to these channels because they feel that we could be doing so much better with our entertainment. And I'm working really hard to bring that to all of you. And
by the way, did you see that Eric just did a deal with Mike Barron?
I did, yes. And I'll tell you something. Mike sent me a couple of his short film scripts, actually. That's a good reminder that I told him I'd read those this weekend.
Creative force, dude. And by the way, I want everybody, please help me. Get Mike Barron on Nerdrotic. I don't understand why Gary has never had him on.
Have you had him on this channel?
You got to contact
Mike?
X-Ray Girl.
Mike's
X-Ray
a
Girl,
good
I
friend
think
of mine.
the X-Ray's the one that does the bookings, I think.
I
don't know.
Somebody help me, because I'm getting sick of this. You know, Mike Barron should be covered by every single one of our groups.
I don't think, here's the thing. I don't think people realize, like, when people look back on the culture war, I mean, we're very fortunate. We are right in the middle of it, either, you know, covering it like this channel does, or doing something about it, or we're lucky enough to know all the people who are like Mike Barron, Chuck Dixon, who was on this show as well. You know, Eric July, like all these people, we may not know all of each other like personally, but, you know, I feel like people are going to look back on this, and this is kind of like, you know, what the punk movement was, or, you know, the Dada movement, like whatever, you know, these different times where there were always the outliers that, you know, everyone made fun of, everyone thought like, oh, these guys don't know what they're talking about. And then they ended up being the people that like changed culture. And, you know, I believe that's what we're doing now. Like Mike's one of those people. I hang out with, you know, a good friend of mine is Val Merrick. Did I get him on the show? I don't think he's been on my channel.
I don't think so, but I know who he is.
But Val is actually a voice actor in this one. He was also in the short film with Sarah. And we did another short film together. He's a talented actor. He's also, of course, an amazing creator and painter. He's got a gallery show coming up. Everyone knows he co-created Howard the Duck. Like, you know, it's just like,
I think you did have him on.
Yeah, I
Yes,
can't
You did
remember.
have him on
I
your
remember
show.
the Howard the Dog reference.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, I mean, you guys show up every day to do this, and, you know, incrementally, it may not feel like much each day, but like, I really do believe that this is all going to add up to a sea change. And if we weren't winning this, Disney's stock wouldn't be tanking, and the studios wouldn't be having so much trouble with money, and the strikes. My God, the strikes are like a whole other issue. I keep recording stuff about the strikes and then not posting it because I always go like, oh, I should have said this, or you know. But I've been talking to a lot of people in Hollywood who've been telling me I don't know what I'm talking about, and everything I keep telling them keeps coming true. And they keep, well, no, it's just, you know, it's not going to be like that. It's like, no, Hollywood is, I've said this before, Hollywood is dead. It is over. And there's going to be there already is, there's a big opening for independents to come in, and there's the means to distribute it. And here I am getting all excited. I just had a bunch of caffeine while cleaning, by the way, if you haven't noticed.
Chris, you make a great point, because I've been saying this right now with that are trying to pull in all the actors when it comes from the gaming side, right? All those studios. Yeah. And the thing is, cool, let them go strike. Let them go fight for what they want to. Let the indie studios rise, because indie studios have been pushing out a lot more games that are less dealing with whatever narratives and ideologies, and they're just focusing on, hey, you want to play it? I'm going to make something you want to play. And I've had a blast this year with a lot of indie titles. And I hope indie titles get a bigger spotlight, and AAA, like Call of Duty and Diablo, and watching all those failures, take a step back, because we're at a point now where they're destroying their own companies. Everyone's doing their own Disney in their own way, and it's going across the board. It's in every industry. We're sitting back pointing by.
We saw the damage begin 10 years ago, Stephen.
Yeah,
but when the COOF came, Hollywood voluntarily destroyed itself. And,
the thing is that a lot of Hollywood, that was when the bubble expanded, because they got a lot of like special permissions from their buddies in the government to keep filming while everyone else had to be locked in their homes, and they somehow didn't realize that we weren't going to be locked in our homes forever, and so they created this bubble, and in that bubble encapsulated all these activists. It like really opened the door to bring all those people in, and they're the ones in the unions.
They're not
now
actors, they're activists.
Yeah, not the actors, the writers.
I want you to remember though, Chris, Keith and I were talking about this before that bubble. We were explaining that the landscape is changing.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
When Disney started moving towards beginning its own online presence for web, getting their own web presence for their channel, Disney Plus, all that shit, we said, that's it. This is the big shift. And when Hollywood did what it did, what I wanted to point out is they sealed their own fate during those 2 years. You understand that? The minute they
I predicted Disney Plus was going to fail before it even went live. Yeah.
Well, they were in trouble right off the bat. When you look at the single best right now, the single best web network studio is the company you're working for. Apple is the best for production. They have the best production values. They put up the best material. I'm not saying everything is great, but I would tell you that I would say close to 90% of what they put out is above everybody else for quality.
I don't even have an Apple subscription. It's funny. It's ironic. Let's
tag Apple on that. Let's tag Apple on that and put that as a quote on a short video.
It's funny. Like technically, I don't work for Apple. I'm contracted with Apple. It's a very important distinction that they keep making. But the thing that I see is that is going to be.
This worries me if they're making a distinction with you.
It's a long. It's a long story.
Is anyone else here a 6 foot hole? Keep getting bigger and deeper right now. I can't hear it right now. It's like that shovel's on full speed ahead.
Well, I want to speak to Fat Steven's point, though. Just kind of going back a little bit, like I see one of the successful streaming companies being Tubi, because they can take on a lot of independent content and they can do advertising. And a lot of people complain about the advertising, but honestly, if you want that original content, it's the price, and you want it for free. That's the price you're going to have to pay. Is the advertising.
Pluto's another one, and it's great because I can use Pluto and a VPN and access other U.S. properties that aren't like for Pluto's in other countries. And we're not seeing how Netflix used to be. Oh, we're going to crack down on VPNs like that. So when I go to sleep, when I turn something on, it's usually something from Pluto. And during the day, I either have F movies or I'm watching like 9 anime. So streaming services are there, but I just don't have to spend money. That's the thing, though.
And not only that,
by
but
the way,
again,
the slideshow has started.
The same thing is. Does that mean we're over? Is it done?
No, we need to start talking about the movie.
All right, then I got to get going, guys. Thank you for having me, Chris. Nice to see you, Gary.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Hey,
no problem.
Steven, you and I should catch up sometime because I'm always interested in what you have to say, and I'm gonna jet too. So enjoy the movie.
Okay.
And
hit me up on Twitter. Or on Twitter, my account's back, and everyone enjoy the Scanner Show. These guys are a great team. And Christopher, yeah, sure. Have a good one.
Thanks for dropping in, Chris. Thanks for being here, Steven. I'll see you guys
as
later.
always.
Bye, guys. Have a good one.
See you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I think when all the strikes happen, I just quoted MASH. Suicide is painless, and people were like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "This is the industry committing suicide." People don't believe me, but it is.
I'm trying to get back to where I was. I had to stop it when. Oh, crap. Oh, well. I wish I had a better control on the video. So here we go. Once again, shot in Montreal, and they don't even hide it. I hope you actually have a clip of it. of all the stores when he's running, and you see every single store in this mall, and every single one of them has a French
obvious
name.
when you see the trains. Those are Canadian trains.
Now, what I like about
it
this is I'm friends with this guy, and I've talked to him. I cannot get him to come on the show, and I've tried for a while because he's not an actor. He really isn't. He's an artist. He's a painter and an incredible artist, to be honest with you. I love his artwork, and that's all he wants to focus on. He doesn't really want to talk about the movie or the past. He just likes doing his artwork. So I'll never get a chance to have him on, sadly, but he is actually really good in this. This is one big movie. Cronenberg picked this guy out of all the other actors that tried out for the part. That's the one that got it.
Stephen Lack, right?
Yeah.
What?
Stephen Lack, right?
Yeah, Stephen Lack.
Yeah.
And really nice guy. And like I said, if you go on my other Facebook page, not the one I primarily use now, my other one that I ran from because Jesus Christ, I finally showed Anima why I left it. Like I was being followed by thousands of people. I'm like,
I knew that.
I couldn't handle it. I'm like, I just want my friends and family. I don't want a whole lot of people. But he's one of the people on my friends list. I have a few celebrity friends, and he's one of them. We've talked, and I could never get him to open up about this movie. But what's happening here is we meet this guy. We see him. He's a bum. He's picking food off other people's tables. And he's eating something that somebody left behind. And he turns and that woman's looking at him and goes, "You see that man? Looking at it." And he's talking about it. She's disgusted by him. And it triggers something with him. And what he is a scanner, as they call it in a movie. This is someone with not just telepathic abilities, but telekinetic abilities. Their brain is just super powerful.
Well,
so he's angry at her for what she said. He accidentally attacks her telepathically, and it causes her physical distress. And what he doesn't know is there are two guys there that work for a secret organization. I'm not going to say who they are, but it might be those two guys.
He doesn't know that he's a scanner. He has no idea what's happening.
He has no idea he's a scanner, and he has no idea that he's being followed. Those guys have been following him, and he gets up to run, and they dart him. And of course, Anima asks, "Why doesn't he just pull it out?" I said it wouldn't matter because it auto injects when it hits you. You get all of it in one hit. It's not like a drip thing. When it hits, the impact causes it to compress and inject all of the drug into them. And the drug they use is ephemeral in the movie. It's the name of it. I don't know. That might actually be a real thing that just accidentally exists. They knock him out on the escalator. But like I said, here you can see there was a shot there where you can see all the stores and everything is la or le. Now he's in a hospital and he's all tied up.
Please don't try to speak French.
And bon, voici dans ce parfumage, c'était horrible.
And my brain just died.
And it's real French. It was real French. So there is the amazing Patrick McGowan.
Remember, he's a person, not a number.
Yes, please. Man, this character, his portrayal was absolutely fantastic.
Yes. And he plays Dr. Paul Ruth. And all the names are interesting in this film. You have Dr. Paul Ruth, the hero, the protagonist's name is Cameron Vale.
That's the greatest name in the whole movie.
And Michael Ironside, this is his first big movie. And he plays Daryl Revick. Cameron Vale sounds like a good guy. Daryl Revick sounds like a bad guy. Whereas the name Dr. Paul Ruth is very neutral. So you don't know, and you're not supposed to know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. And all these people are walking in, and they're all scanners. And they're talking, but their mouths aren't moving. And it's driving him insane because they're all inside his head. And what Ruth is doing is actually teaching him how to shut the voices out, control them.
Yeah, by using the drug.
And you don't know what his interest is, Dr. Ruth, but you know that he cares about him and wants to help him. And that's all we know at this point.
Well, he says he's studying them. It's his job to study the scanners. But my brain immediately went to where, like, how do we know he's not creating them in the first place? I did not trust him.
No, and and with the film, that's absolutely part of the premise, and I love that. That as everything slowly gets revealed by the end of the story, you begin to look back at all these characters and have a different look at them and who they were and what they were. And you also have to ask yourself, because whenever you listen to the villain, you know you're listening to an unreliable narrator. You got to be careful with villains because they have a skewed point of view. So even everything that he says later about Dr. Ruth, you don't know if it's totally true or not. It may be true from his perspective. Doesn't mean that it's factual. And that's the thing, by the way. I dislike it. People use, well, the truth is truth. I say, well, the truth is really based off of a person's perspective. Facts are facts. And when you hear me make an argument, I don't talk about truth. I talk about facts. Truth is something else. It's more philosophical.
You don't have a lot of facts, though, like really proven facts in this movie, because you're like the main character. You learn as you go along.
Yeah, absolutely.
You start out knowing nothing.
This film is full of personal truths. Now, this is one of the greatest scenes ever shot on film. I use the word shot and I kind of giggle at it because in order to create this effect, and I told Anima about this, they created the upper torso and head of this actor, did a perfect job of it, and put a shotgun in the body, aimed in the neck, up to the head, inside. And when his head explodes, they pull the trigger on the shotgun.
It's awesome. It's the second best effect in the movie. Second.
Yeah, I would say it's first. The other one I like too.
No, the one at the end.
Yeah, okay. I don't agree with you, but
this opening one it's the iconic thing of the entire movie.
Yeah, this is what sold this movie. People saw this and we lost our minds. And here we get to see Michael Ironside do some of his mime acting. He almost looks like he's doing something naughty. Other guys.
The trailer for Scanners basically has the head exploding.
Yeah, they show it.
Yeah.
I never saw the trailer, I think.
You would think at this point they would have stopped the session, but no, they just let it keep going. And then his head explodes. Well, did you not put that in there? You put it in there.
What? You screwed up, Martin.
Martin.
Fuck all of you. Goodness. You know I can pick the shots. It's the player who picks the shots.
Mm-hmm. You are like a bad editor for porn. You would cut out all the money shots. So I just have to tell people his head explodes. You gotta believe me. It's true. It's true. It really happened. Now, this is a really clever scene because they've got him and they're going to inject him with the ephemeral, but he controls the doctor and he injects himself with the ephemeral, which we don't get to see.
The other guy doesn't pick up.
Yep. Nobody seems to notice that he injected his own hand. And it leads to the murder scene. This is kind of a cool scene.
How many people die in this movie? Do we have a number? I didn't count.
Just enough to make it cool.
Almost everybody.
So they're trying to take him to the pathology. Trying to take him to the pathology, and they don't know he's not actually drugged up and he's fully powered. And he's the Energizer Bunny about to do some damage. So he causes this car to go wreck and kill those two guys. And the other two guys in their car jump out to help him and he takes control of the guy with the gun, causes him to kill the other two guys, and then makes him shoot himself.
There's 8 kills in this
On
movie.
camera?
Yep.
No.
Only 8? No, it is way more.
No.
I went to kill count.
No.
Oh, there's way
There
more
must,
than that.
there must be more.
'Cause that's
car
5
chase
right there.
alone is,
No,
yeah.
That's
At
5
this
right
point,
here.
Yeah. At
And then
this
the car
point,
chase and the laboratory.
when the car chasing
So-
ends, it amounts to 6.
Well, I found another one that says 15. So
Yeah, because the guy he killed blew his head up. That's a total of 6. We got 6 right now. That's right, already. And this movie made Michael Ironside a star because he went from this straight to V. If you guys remember the series V. And tell me if I'm
Yes.
right or wrong. Is that not the same facility used as the apartment complex in Shrivers or Parasite?
Probably. I mean, you
Looks
got
like it.
okay at film one place. It's easy to get back in, unless you like make a mess.
Just take a look at this and tell me if it does not look like the same place, because that looks like the same building that was the apartment complex. Anything? Anybody?
No, I don't know.
Seen it?
You know what this
remember.
movie is missing that Shivers has? Santa Claus getting gunned down in the middle of a mall.
French Santa.
Apparently that 15 was just Michael Ironside's personal body count. The total is 131, 130 humans and 1 animal.
They
That
were
sounds
dog.
more like it.
Oh, hey, Lady V is here. Hi, Lady V.
Hi, Lady V.
That's replicant Gary, remember? Got a reminder.
clone Gary.
I'm not a clone, I'm a replicant.
Jesus, get your titles correct, Lady
I'm a
V.
biologically
No.
engineered robot.
No, you're a clone. I'm not upgrading your status.
Send in the clones.
Gary's fully
You're
functional and
already
anatomically correct.
And you know what I found funny is Dr. Ruth. All I could think of is Dr. Ruth Westheimer. Whenever they say his name,
Dr. Ruth Westheimer. Yes, he's a small little Jewish woman who talks about sex.
that shootout at the OK Carol Singers. So, I think that McGowan did an amazing job in this role. It's not a huge role for him, but he made the film with his scenes.
Wasn't this whole thing during his giant, the prisoner came out and he was just basically done with everything?
No, he had moved to America and was working mostly on American shows. He was a regular on Columbo because he and Peter Falk in real life were very close friends. And he ended up directing quite a few Columbo episodes. And this was really during the period when he was focused more on probably being a director and less about being an actor. And this job just came along. And it was a paycheck for him. And he got to go to Canada. And so it was a break. I guess I would look at this as like a break for him. But it didn't do anything for his career. It just, because he already had a career. He was very well regarded in film and television. And like I said, his main focus at this point, right now in his career, was directing.
Hey, boss.
And he could have been James Bond, but he found Bond to be too unsavory of a character.
Well, he was looking at the books because he'd read the books. And by the way, if we want to talk about Bond, I really do. I'm kind of stoked about what was just said by Christopher Nolan, that if he does do James Bond, it will be a period piece and he wants to focus more on the books.
Good. That's how it should be.
And immediately I went, shwing. It's like, what? Oh. So that was exciting news. If it does happen. I have my doubts, but
this is kind of the problem. People like us talk about and say that should happen. No one will listen in Hollywood at all. But Christopher Nolan says it's something like we go, oh my God, no one's ever thought of that.
Well, Hollywood stopped listening to the fans.
well, we
a long
know
time
that's
ago.
not true because the reason why James Bond changed when Timothy Dalton took over for those 2 films was because he was the only actor that actually was well versed on the books, and he wanted to do the books. He wanted that Bond.
Well,
and that's the Bond we got.
fact.
The Bond he plays is very close to how Bond was in the books.
I'm talking about modern Hollywood, not like.
No, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. And I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying there are those. I'm just saying there are others. And Timothy Dalton was one of them. But the Charlie Higson Young Bond woke book, yeah, it's pathetic. And guess what? It didn't sell.
Sex!
Hey,
Hello.
Kyle, what's up, buddy? Hey.
Hi, Zach.
Do it now. Play his video, man.
Oh yeah, give him the video.
Oh, I'm not using my right arm
We owe
because it
him
hurts,
that.
so I wasn't ready. Is it on here?
Yes, it should be. Right at the end.
I'm looking. There it is.
Fuck you, Kyle.
You need to get the Carmen one where he's teaching his little kid to go, "Fuck you, Uncle Kyle."
Kyle's mama's bitch is big fat bitch is biggest bitch in the whole world.
There what?
Oh, come on. You don't know that song?
No.
Well, Kyle's mom's a bitch. She's a big fat bitch. She's biggest bitch in the whole wide world. Kyle, it's Cartman from South Park.
No, I don't watch South Park.
What?
I don't watch South Park.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. We got it. What is wrong with you?
That's okay, Marty. I don't watch
Don't be
it
a chicken
either.
shit. Don't be. You have too. And the one you watched, you loved.
Yeah, you make me watch it
I
sometimes.
had
Sometimes
you
it's
watch one.
kind of funny.
I always pick which one I'm going to show you because I like pulling the ones that are the smarter ones, the ones that you have to really think about.
Hey,
And
I never
by the
said-
end of that episode, you were like, okay, that was really good. I went, I know, because they're really good writers when they put effort in.
Sometimes.
But
I didn't say I didn't like it. I didn't say I just say I haven't seen it. Goodness gracious me.
Look, man, you cannot be a part of this fucking channel. I don't want people knowing this. This is private, right? Nobody's watching this right now, right?
No,
You're an anti-South Park.
you were playing.
You need to start watching the show, senor.
Only if I get a good couch in rich Corinthian letter.
Now this is okay.
How
like
that sounds much.
So this is really
couch.
interesting because Anna and I both caught that there's something interesting about Drevik's bullet hole or drill hole in his forehead.
Yeah.
That kind of moves.
It drove me crazy.
I kept going because like right now,
Every
see where
shot, it's in a
it is
different
right
place.
here. But that's not where he drilled. He drilled up here. And then sometimes it's right here. It's like it shifts. These
It's
three spots.
changing
It's either
all
here,
the time.
here, or here.
Oh,
And what it's supposedly drilled into, because they don't really explain it, is pineal gland, which, you know, a lot of out fringe pseudoscience people believe that the pineal gland is the connection to psychic ability and all that shit. But I think the best use of the pineal gland was actually H.P. Lovecraft's From Beyond. Anybody else watch that movie?
Not yet.
I'm not
It's been a
sure.
while, but I've seen it.
That's a classic, dude.
If it's an
Cool-ass-
H.P. Lovecraft, chances are I've seen it, but I'm not recalling it off the top of my head.
It had some great cheesy horror in it, but more importantly than anything, it's got Jeffrey Combs in it as the
Well,
hero.
He's in a lot of Lovecraftian movies.
Yeah.
And that's why because I'm a big fan. I've always been a big fan of Jeffrey Combs since the Reanimator. I just fucking love that guy. And but anyway, the pineal gland is what they reference it. That's why what he was trying to do. He's trying to drill through to the pineal gland. because he was trying to turn off the voices in his head.
Oh, more of the voices. He says that he can feel the complete sensation of whole bodies.
Yeah, because the human body is nothing but a series of neural pathways, and that's what scanners are connected to, is neural pathways, which is what leads to a great revelation in the film, is that all a computer is a neural pathway. So a scanner should be able to hack a computer, and he does. And it's one of the cooler moments. I don't think it was,
telephone.
he did the best he could in 1981 for trying to convey what was happening. But there is one visual effect during that scanning that I thought worked, and it should have been the one that they stuck with, where it looks like you're moving through a lit hallway, almost like the Doctor Who tunnel type thing, time tunnel. So, but right here is one of the early revelations, is that this guy is a bad guy. That's what is his character's name again? I forget. Keller.
Reddick or something like that.
No, Braden Keller, and he works with Dr. Ruth, but he is actually one of the main bad guys in this.
I thought he's like the security. He's like the security chief guy.
He's in charge of security. That's exactly what he is. He's in charge of security. This guy's a yoga dude, and he's like in control of his body, and he's a subject, and he's going to play ping pong with him mentally. And I like this scene. He tells me, I don't want you to control his thoughts. I want you to control his heart, because it's about neural pathways, and the nerves are everywhere in the human body, including in the heart. That's what your nodes are in your heart. SA nodes and your AV nodes.
Wow, when did you get the elephant?
I don't know.
Look, it's allergies season is bad right now. Mold is up, pollen is up. It's crazy.
Ew.
I've taken 2 different decongestants today to keep me afloat. Oh wait, what did he just say, Martin? Put that back up. It annoys me on an extra level because I remember Hickson when he was part of the Fast Show, a sketch show I loved watching as a kid. Hate it when comedians go off reservation. No, I get what he said. Yeah, I get that. So he gets in there and he starts manipulating this dude's heart. Combs also does the interconnecting sections of the Necronomicon. Yes, and by the way, when he did that, they made him look like Bruce Campbell. And I thought that was odd. They were trying to make him look like supposedly H.P. Lovecraft. But the fact is, go back and watch it and tell me he doesn't look like his makeup makes him look like Bruce Campbell. Because I think it does. So anyway, he's really getting in there in his heart, and he's messing with it, getting it go faster.
Yeah, funny thing is, he tells him to accelerate his heart, but don't worry, he's going to stop it if it gets too fast, and he's egging him on faster.
He's got no control. He's got no control. He can't stop him. At this point, the doctor is afraid that he's going to kill him, and he's about to eject him with the ephemeral, and then he just lets go and grabs the hand with the syringe in it, going, "I got this." I like that scene, showing that he's learned control already.
Yeah, and also the yoga dude thinks he's above him, and he is not, because he has like superpowers.
Yep. And then we find out the reason later, but I'm not going to reveal why. That character is an interesting character, and this is one of the most memorable scenes in this film, when he goes and finds him. That is, what is his name? I forget his name. Robert Silverman, and he plays Benjamin Pierce. And he is a guy who became psychotic because of his scanning ability and almost killed his entire family. Trying to just kill him with his brain. And
he's kind of a Cronenberg mainstay, isn't he? Because he's in,
yes, he is. He's been. That's why I love this guy. He's been in a lot of Cronenberg's films, man. Good actor. And but he ends up being in prison. They let him out because they found a new way for him to control the negative aspects of his scanning, is that he does artwork. So he's supposed to find this guy in order to find Revik, because he's one of the few people who's had contact with Revik. So he goes to the gallery, and while he's there, he scans the owner of the gallery, for the guy's address, because he won't give it to him, because he says, "I want to meet him." And so he gets nauseous, I like that. And he turns, and then all of a
And
sudden,
nosebleed.
he feels something, and he turns, and he's being scanned by somebody. And he looks, and there she is. That is Jennifer O'Neill, gorgeous Canadian actor, really good actor. And she's scanning the shit out of him. Like,
Oh yeah.
who are you and why are you here?
He only catches a glimpse of her though, because when he looks back, she's gone.
Yeah, she's already gone. He's bleeding.
But he has to know.
And he's
he
like,
has
what the
been
fuck
scanned.
just happened?
No, he has to know.
Well, he's
learning.
never had that happen. No, he's never had that happen.
Yeah, he's learning.
At this point,
Yes,
he's
he
never
does.
been scanned. Now he's been scanned. And I don't think he liked it.
Now he knows the other side of that.
And this is the other thing. I said it while you watch the film. The thing that always sucks about this is they are telekinetic, telepathic. They are not psychic. Otherwise, they would have been prepared for what's coming. But they couldn't be prepared because it's different. It's not psychic. And so he goes to this gallery, and I remember the scene, that giant head. And I love the imagery of a guy who is driven psychotic by his powers, finds solitude inside of a gigantic sculpted head. I love that visual. But this is one of my favorite scenes in the film, and it becomes one of it's very violent, but it's not gory violent.
No, not a lot of blood.
Not yet.
So
No,
they
even
can't.
Here they
They
come.
can't read. They can't read people's minds, but they can tell when they lie, and I like that.
This is the hit team, and they're coming there to kill whoever's in that barn in the gallery.
Oh no, they come after him specifically. That's what I got from that.
Well, I don't think they were expecting Cameron to be there, but they were expecting the artist to be there. But if there was anybody else there, they would have killed him. It wouldn't have mattered. Anybody there is going to get killed.
If only they got a chance.
And this is the first time you get to see Cameron Vale really kind of let go with his abilities in the story. And he actually, and that's the thing, it's, you know, telepathy and telekinesis are connected in this story. So he physically throws a guy into the giant head. And it's one of my favorite.
He throws
stunts done in the film.
everybody. They all get knocked around.
This guy is a good actor, by the way, Silverman, which is why he's one of the regulars with Cronenberg, because he's just a really good actor.
I like how he says, "My art keep me sane," with the
That's
most
right.
insane look in his face.
He goes, how do you stay sane? He goes, my art keeps me sane. Well, I don't have that. I need that. Well, I need something like that. Because he feels sorry for him, but then he's like, there's nothing I can do for you. And he gets up and he says, you're a liar. I'm going to get up and leave. And that's when they just start shooting him.
With the
They're
worst
wounded at this
shotgun
point.
shells in the world.
Yeah, what are those, 12 gauge? I mean,
I don't know. This scene is
20
an
gauge.
insult to shotguns.
Yeah, I think they're shooting with bird shot, which is why it takes so many shots to kill him. A real shotgun.
It's Canada.
Now here we go. He's getting into her head, and he's getting into everybody's head all at once, and he's stopping them. They're shaking, and they have no control of themselves anymore.
This is when you realize how powerful he is, because you've seen scanners and what they do, but then he goes and does that shit, and you're just like, holy shit. How can he do that?
So we know
Because
that
he's in
he and Drevik are probably two of the most powerful, because one of the other things you pick up is their two characters are clearly older than all of the other scanners, including not including this guy and Jennifer O'Neill, because they look like they're close to the same age too. But all the other scanners we've seen so far are younger. And I think they said there's like around 300 scanners. The world is full of like 7.5 billion people, and 300 of them are scanners. And they could
And the
take
oldest
over
one
the
is
world.
35, if I remember that correctly.
Yeah. So age plays a part in this, and you find out why. later. I love the locations in this thing. And the thing I love about him is there is a guerrilla feel to Cronenberg's filmmaking, but it's not. He gets permission, absolutely gets a ton of permission. But he shoots in locations where you go, man, it would be hard to shoot there, and he'll shoot there because he was the pride and joy of Canada at the time.
And rightfully so.
Really, I thought he had issues with them, which is one of the reasons he decided to start making films in the US.
It was limitations is the problem. He was limited because there's only so much you can get up in Canada for what he wanted to do. So he moved to Hollywood because he knew he would. Hollywood, you're going to get a better budget. He knew that. That's why he left. It's a big budget. He wanted to do bigger budget films. He wanted to move up, not keep going straight across. Because he probably could have made a career out of just making these kinds of films and would have done fine. But he wanted to come to America, and I'm glad he did. I mean, Videodrome, as weird as that movie is, and I have trouble with that film because it is too weird, but James Woods and Debbie Harry are great in that fucking movie. And the visual effects, what they did there on set, live, good stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
You expect any Cronenberg film to be weird. It's somewhat.
And yet, he's turned right around and done some films that were really just good. Let me go back to, because there's a couple of his films that I've seen. Like, okay, here's one, the Russian mob one that he did. Something
History of Violence.
No,
Eastern Promises.
Eastern Promises.
Yeah.
My God, what a great fucking movie! Great
It is good, yeah.
movie. No horror. There is horror in it, but it's not horror. It's horror because it's real.
Yeah, that knife fight is brutal.
That's the one I'm talking about. In the Russian bathhouse, that was scary. That freaked me out. I'm sitting there, my legs went together.
So, what do you think of his kid and what he's been directing?
Oh man, I'm aware of his kid, and I'm trying to remember what he directed.
Possessor.
Possessor.
They're okay.
Infinity Pool.
I don't think he's anywhere as good as his dad. I don't. Infinity Pool annoyed me.
I haven't seen it yet.
I thought it was a good short story. It shouldn't have been it was a terrible feature-length film. Naked Lunch,
part of an
another
anthology.
one. Naked Lunch, Dangerous Method. Let's see, Eastern Promises, A History of Violence, and what was the other one I really like? Dead Zone are some of my favorite films that he directed. He also directed M. Butterfly. Not a fan of the film, but it's not bad. It's just not that great.
He doesn't. Given his,
I made the
career,
mistake thinking it was going to be Madame Butterfly. It's my mistake. I went to see it thinking it was a modern. It's not.
It's
not.
It's not.
Given how long he's been making movies, it's kind of crazy. Like, he doesn't have a huge filmography.
Well, maybe he prefers
Films of
quality.
his that were non-horror that I wasn't interested in. Maps to the Stars.
Since 1969, he's done 22 films.
Yep. Now, Nightbreed is listed as one of his films, but he's actually not the director of that film.
Nope.
He's in it because he's the killer.
Yep.
It's one of the few movies where he's the actor in it. But I'm a big fan of Nightbreed, especially the director's cut. The theatrical cut was not good. My other favorite films of his, going way back, is Shivers, that deals with a sexually passed parasite. The Brood with Oliver Reed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Rabid, which he hired an American adult film actress to play the vampire in that.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, let's not forget The Fly, one of the, right before Goldblum became Goldblum.
And that was really his big American breakthrough film, because he did Videodrome before that one, and just it did not get the respect it deserved. But it led to him getting The Fly. And The Fly was his big commercial success film. And it was a hit.
Well, Videodrome is one of those movies that made it back in the rental area.
That's right, because it didn't make money at the theater. Nobody wanted to see it. But boy, it was a hit on video.
Yep.
Oh,
And
The
but the
Fly.
same year he put that out, he also The Fly, he put out Dead Ringers, which I don't think is that great of a film. It's okay. Jeremy is his first major film. Jeremy Irons, and he was good in it, but it's just, I don't know, man. I just wasn't. It's the thing that it's one of the films that helped make him the king of body horror. That's his shtick, man.
And going back to the cameos that he's done, I would really like to bring up To Die For, where she's basically telling him the whole story.
The reporter?
Yeah, she thinks he's a reporter, but he's really there to knock her off. I love that little bit at the end there. That's great.
You know,
Oh, he's the hitman.
He's a
I've
hitman.
never seen that film. I know the film.
It's good.
It's
a
not.
good one.
It's not the best movie ever, but the ending for To Die For is one of my favorites.
It's great. That's a great ending.
That's with Nicole Kidman, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The true story of the woman who actually seduced two high school students to kill her husband to get famous.
Oh, that's what that was about.
Pamela Smart. Yeah.
You know, you think Naked Lunch would be the movie that cemented his position as king of body horror.
Which one?
Was it Naked Lunch?
Naked Lunch.
Naked Lunch. God, that movie's so good. But I love it. It's like, it's impossible to turn away from. It's just, and it's
This
got such
typewriter, man.
gross, weird shit going on camera. Because, you know, he's playing a character who's hallucinating all the time on drugs. Based on the real life writer of Naked Lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And,
one movie of his where there's some really good stuff, but there's a lot of terrible stuff, in my opinion, is like Cosmopolis.
River Phoenix was in, or Joaquin Phoenix is in that movie. And Casey Affleck, because they played the two young guys. That's right. Matt Dillon played her husband, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to watch that movie. I really do need to. Yeah, it's fictional telling of the Pamela Smart story.
But the very last shot of that movie is just a perfect punctuation on everything that's happened. It's just
There's the elephant again.
very underrated movie.
Oh, here we go. Yep. Hey, what you doing with that gun? Oh, it's coming to kill you. Really? Oh.
Don't think so.
Yeah.
Didn't know Herbert the Pervert was in this movie.
Hi there, Mr. Muscly Boy. Call me. Muscly son bitch. Oh, dude.
boy.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at Zach's comment, dude. That scene is so tough to get through.
Mhm.
And seriously, I'm not kidding you. The minute they started fighting, those knives came out and they're fucking naked, flopping around. My legs went straight together because that's horrifying. And that's why he did that, because he knew it would be horrifying.
I do not want to watch that.
No, you're going to watch it with me because it's a good film.
Oh,
That is a
fuck.
damn good movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great story. They had been planning to do a sequel, but it eventually, I think, got dumped. And I think it's a good idea. I think it's a one-shot story. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Wasn't he trying to do another thing with Crash? I'm trying to remember.
Well, he was interested in telling more stories, carrying on like an anthological type story of similar people, just different people, different characters. But that was what I heard. And that was back in the 90s too, wasn't it? It was 97, 98, wasn't it?
What, Crash?
When was that movie made? Yeah, when was that movie made?
Was it 98?
04.
04? Really? I know
Yeah.
that. Isn't that it? Didn't it win Best Picture?
No, Cronenberg's Crash.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of a different Crash.
Yeah.
Oh, I am too. Hold on.
Yeah, it doesn't help. There's like when there's multiple movies with the same title.
Or
Yeah,
be
they keep doing
dealt
it.
with his did with amputations, body horror again.
Oh, okay.
That was 1996 because I remember I was in Illinois. I was writing reviews, and somebody asked me if I wanted to do the review for that. And I went, "No, I'm not going to watch that. I don't want to watch it."
I don't
And
think
I've never seen it.
I haven't
I've
seen that
never
one.
seen it. I've never seen it.
That's
It
why
just-
when you said Crash, I just thought it was the other one.
Yep, because that's one of those films that just was like the subject was like just not something I wanted to see.
Yeah. Neither was the other Crash.
Okay,
like
here's
Brendan Fraser,
a good
but-
scene. This is a good scene where we find out that he's working directly with Drevik. Because the camera moves around the object and reveals Drevik. Played again by the amazing Michael Ironside. And in this film, by the way, his first major film, is also the first time he ever got to show his skills in overacting. Because in the final battle scene, his facial stuff is so over the top that it's amazing.
It's good though.
Anima will tell you that scene is one of the best scenes in a horror film ever made.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hey, look, it's what's his name? The Ernest. Ernest Goes Helicopter.
Oh, Jim Varney?
Yeah, Jim Varney. That's who the pilot looked like. It looked like Jim Varney there.
I miss Jim Varney.
Ernest Goes to Scanners.
Know what I mean?
Hey, wait, it's a circle. It's a UFO. It's the thing.
Know what I mean?
The Thing. Remember The Thing? They're in a,
Hey,
in a
Vern,
circle.
got some scanners. I got some anti-scan for sale. I bought it at Kleptomart down the street.
What you talking about, Vern? Hey, Vern. I'm telling you, I think that's the same building. I'm going to have to go watch the movie. From Shivers. Which, by the way, is an effective horror film. It really is. Because it's a social statement. The whole free love movement from the 60s. What it's really criticizing.
Yep. He would be called a conservative now for doing that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Even though it's like, hey, all this free love stuff is kind of jacked up with what it's doing to everyone.
So there we just watched him lose authority. Because he wanted to go in to talk to her, but in reality, he didn't want to go in to talk to her because he wanted to go talk to Cameron. But he had to set up like he wanted to go talk to her. It was a little power play he was doing. But in the process,
He tricked him.
He tricked the guy into doing that. But at the same time, this leads to a reveal in the story about Dr. Ruth. That it's in this scene where it's revealed that basically he founded the company in 1942 that's making this drug. And this drug, it is being used to sedate the scanners. But he says, and he's telling him here, he says, it has nothing to do with this company. It has everything to do with the other company because he's manufacturing this drug. And we don't know what he's doing with it. But it's being shipped out in mass. There he says it, taken out in huge tankers. And so he's like, wait, what? And he tells him that the answers are in the computer. But then when Cameron suspects that Jennifer O'Neill's character, Orbit, what's her name? Obrist, might be in danger, he jumps out and leaves. He goes, I've got to help her. And he's like, no, we've got to get to the computer. And he goes, no, she matters. And he begins to talk to himself and begins to reveal that everything was in the past. everything that explains what's going on is in the past as he's talking to himself.
Yeah, he
And
snaps.
he's kind
Something
of losing it.
happens to him. Yeah, he's losing it.
He's kind of losing, and he's sitting there, and he realizes, oh my God, I've caused this. This is all my fault. Is really what's going on.
And I
And
had that gut feeling after his very first scene. He's not just studying them, he's making them. He started all this.
he's studying them now,
Yeah.
but he's what caused them to happen.
Yes.
But now we
That's
see
what he
him
found.
in there talking to her. He thinks she's drugged up, but in fact, Dr. Ruth faked drugging either of them. They're both fully empowered right now. And this guy doesn't know that. And I remember sitting here watching this going, I didn't trust him to begin with, but when he starts turning off the cameras right here, he's turning off all the cameras. It's like, yeah, this guy's going to kill her, or he thinks he's going to.
He thinks so, yeah. And he's
Every
not
time-
talking to her, he's interrogating her.
Every
What,
time
John?
you say Dr. Ruth, I just picture the little old German lady.
Yeah, Westheimer. I said that earlier. Because when this movie came out, that's all I would think of. Every time
Yeah.
his name would get mentioned, I think Dr. Ruth Westheimer. And I'm like, oh my God, that little Jewish doctor. And she, of course, she's got no information for them. But he's like, he's planning to shoot her.
He's threatening her, and that's his last mistake.
Because he doesn't know that she's not drugged. And it leads to a kind of a cool scene because his arm starts shaking and then it shoots out to its side. But he's got a beautiful weapon, by the way. It's Don Ecker's and my favorite gun, the Colt 45 Combat. That's the 6-inch barrel 45, 1911. Hey. So he puts that in her face, threatens her with it. Then he says, that's it. I'm just going to kill you because the cameras are off. Nobody's going to know. And there it goes. He goes, hey, I didn't do that.
She just knocks the shit out of him.
She knocks the shit out of this guy with her mind. And he gets up and hits the alarm. And
well, after he's orientated again, because I guess she's giving him a hell of a headache too.
So he and she got to get out of there. And he, like, where is she? This is more important. He goes, no, it's not. And that's the thing I like about Cameron Vale. Cameron Vale's a good protagonist because he has a good sense of what's right and wrong.
This is where he snaps, by the way.
Yep, and he tells Dr.
Something
Ruth,
breaks in his mind.
Access the past. And he knows he is the past. He is the answer. And this is a good scene too, because too often in these films, they'll just show the heroes go up against armed guards and kill them. But those guys are just people doing their jobs. They're not bad guys. They work for the bad guys. Doesn't mean they're bad guys. And they think they're doing their job. So I was kind of grateful that they don't kill the armed guards. I was like, really, because they're just people doing their damn
They
job.
just play mindfuck with them.
Yeah, they think you're criminals. They think you're doing something wrong, you know. And here he is. He's just mumbling to himself now. He's out of his mind.
He's delivering a full confession here.
He is. He's confessing to everything. Yes, he is. And so he walks in there and he murders him. And when he kills him, something happens because I think he was telepathically linked to Ruth. So everything that Ruth was saying, he heard in his head. Ernest escapes from New York. Oh my God. Read my nature. I would love that. So here they run into each other and then they get cornered by two security officers. And like I said, and instead of killing them,
Ernest goes to Camp Sleepaway.
This is just a great scene. And my favorite thing here is she makes herself look like his mom.
Yeah, she's making him see his mom and he's breaking down because he pulled a weapon on his mother. He is so fucked up.
I'm sorry, Mom.
She's evil in that moment.
I don't think that's evil. I think that's good. It shows him the mistake he made, and so they
It breaks
collapse to the
him
ground.
though. He's just doing his duty, and she's breaking him.
Blood on my hands. And by the way, his character does have gets his comeuppance. The Keller character here, because he wants to stop Cameron Vale. So they pull over in his gas station, get gas, and they're going to make a phone call so he can call the computer. And Anima lost it on this. She's like, "Oh my God, he's talking right to the computer."
He's doing it through a public phone. How awesome is
That's how
that?
faxes work. It's just amazing. That's how faxes work. You can get right in on any phone and talk to it.
The thing is, you see all the phone connection thingies, and that is kind of his brain too. I really like that.
Now what's really cool in this scene is this is where the network is, the computer or the computers. And these are the programmers that work on it all day long.
The guys with the BC glasses.
They're like, "We're locked out. We've been locked out." And he goes, "How can you be locked out of your own computers?" Well, somebody changed the password. We don't know what it is. And then he says, "Oh, here's the new password." And then he goes in and he's like, "There's somebody in the computer right now, hacking us."
And nobody
I
thinks
love
of
this.
shutting it off and back on again.
And he goes, "Somebody can do that?" And he goes, "Yeah, if you get a telephone line, you can get it to any computer." And he's like, what are we going to do? And all this information and it's all the names of all the different scanners. That's what that is. That's on those computers.
Always wanted that power.
And these close-up shots are the ones that don't work for me. I didn't think it worked because he would be going around the circuits. He would be inside the chips and moving around wire to wire and metal to metal. And almost all of it's going to be gold. It's Vale. He's inside. Well, what happens if we stop him? It would hurt him. He's a real bad guy. I like that about him. He's fine with it. I'm good.
He's also so naive, thinking he's able to stop him.
Because your best bad guy is a guy who absolutely believes in what he's doing and is okay with it. He doesn't think he's a bad guy. I guarantee you he doesn't think he's a bad guy. He thinks he's a good guy. That's because he's hook, line, and sinker sold on what he believes. And everybody, one person gets killed in this scene. It's great. Everybody in that lab.
Look at these glasses. If they're on birth control, I don't know.
Well, even his are birth control glasses.
Oh, absolutely. But the dark ones are just don't you own a mirror?
That's how you know he's a scientist. He's got those glasses.
Now, the one thing they commit to here, I got to tell you, is kind of surprising because he says, if I shut this down, it destroys all the data. I don't care. He wants to stop Cameron Vale. So he accepts the loss of the computer program.
Because he thinks that's going to shut down the scanner.
Yeah, what they're doing.
Yeah.
And he believes it'll hurt him.
Yep. Well, it does, kind of.
It gives him a headache.
Yeah. Well, all the scanning thing must give you the mother of a headache.
Yeah, I hope it was. This is the shot I love right here. This is what they should have used instead of showing the shots of the chips and stuff, because that gave you more of a feeling of moving through a conduit.
Yeah.
It was
this
shot.
movie would have
It was shot
benefited
in
had it been
1980.
filmed later.
Yeah, it was shot in 80 and released in 81.
Yeah, the 80s didn't really start feeling like the 80s till about 83.
But I got to tell you, this movie stands up to today with the because all the effects were done live.
And they are
There's
so cool.
Visual effects.
Look at that.
The pyrotechnics to the body horror aspects of it, the head exploding. I mean, that was better than anything you could do today. They tried to do it CG and it still wouldn't look as good as what they did with
the best is yet to come, guys.
Oh no. No. Doing it being done in the modern day would have been bad. I'm talking about like around like Total Recall time when VFX got really good before the CGI stuff came in.
Yep. Yeah, look, Rob Bottin, who, by the way, is still, they know where he is, but he has disappeared from public life. He's completely different from his boss, Rick Baker, who trained him. Rob Bottin did his work. His last thing he did uncredited was for Game of Thrones, and then just walked away. Does nothing, and nobody ever sees him in public. He's like Sasquatch. Every once in a while, you'll see a photo of him in his yard. I like the scene where the phone booth explodes too. It was really cool. So
the phone is melting. That is how powerful he is. The lab explodes. The phone is melting. He's just fucking shit up. With his
so he
power.
goes to one of the doctors on the list that he got in his head that is doing stuff with this medication. Let's find out, what are you doing with it? He finds out while she's sitting there.
In a very unpleasant way.
Yep, she sits right across from a pregnant lady, and suddenly she discovers she's being scanned.
But it's not the lady.
It's not the lady.
It's the baby.
Baby.
The baby. It's the baby, mate.
And I think this is even worse than what they're doing on The Boys, where they give that medication to newborns to make them superheroes. Here they do it prenatally, and that's even more fucked up, I think.
Yep.
You're talking about V on The Boys?
Yeah, The Boys.
Yeah, yeah. My brain immediately went there. It's the same thing. You turn babies into something else.
He goes in to talk to the doctor here, and he's going to confront him like, what is this being used for? You know, but then they find out because he goes back, goes back out to see her, and she's got blood under her nose, and he sees that, and he's like, holy crap, what's going on? You know? And she's like, I'm being scanned. Mother? No, the baby. And then he puts it all together. They're giving it for prenatal. They're making scanners in the bellies of pregnant women. Oh my God. That's what he's doing. He's wanting to mass produce scanners to be his army.
Well,
because
originally,
the older you are as a scanner, the more powerful you are.
Yeah, and originally the drug was intended as a tranquilizer for pregnant women, but then they found out what it did to the babies.
Yep.
And we
find that out.
Now.
We find it out in the big reveal scene with Michael Ironside, because she gets shot with a dart and he pulls it out of her, but it doesn't matter. She's fully injected. It happens instantly.
And she goes down way faster than he does because she's a woman and lighter and smaller and yeah.
Also, she was hit. She was hit in a different spot too. He was hit in the hand, further to travel.
Yeah, but she was hit in the back.
Probably went right into her system. So there's Michael Ironside in the office. This leads to one of the coolest scenes in the film. They did cut one part out, which is a great photo, and I'll show it after the movie.
Do we even talk about the sequels to this?
No, I'm not going to. Not a fan.
Not even Scanner Cop?
I don't think I even saw that one. I saw Scanners 2, and I was like, oh, this is terrible.
They're horrible. They are.
Oh, this is the final confrontation, right?
Yes.
Here you learn everything, or do you? Because he is not a reliable narrator.
If I can find that image here.
But Revit kind of plays on that, right? Because he's, they threw you away like you were a piece of garbage. But the thing is, is, as you said at the beginning, Gary, Cameron knows the difference between right and wrong. He's not going to join him. It is the yin and yang, and that's what makes the
It's
movie
also the classic tale of Cain and Abel, too.
Yeah.
And here it is. You see the original ad for it from 1942, where this was something that was given for prenatal treatment for mothers, and including his own mother was given the medication. Not only his mother, but also Dravic's mother. That's right. They are brothers.
Yeah, because Dr. Ruth is daddy.
Their father is Dr. Ruth.
And he doesn't believe him, of course.
But this is where he realizes, he comes to the understanding, Ruth was not who I thought he was. He was evil. Not as bad as evil as that. But
Almost need to check your pants after that one.
Yeah. You should text him that. Text him.
Oh, yes, please.
Oh my.
Anakin, Dr. Ruth is evil. From my point of view, the scanners are evil. Then you are lost.
So Rivik is doing the classic Darth Vader thing here. It's like, join me and we will rule the world, and because we're the most
he's
powerful.
Not interested.
We're the first. And Cameron's like, man, you don't understand me at all, brother. I have empathy. And Dravic's like, you are no use to me. And they begin their battle. And this is a gory battle.
Epic.
Yeah.
The veins popping.
You are about to see the best effects in this movie.
The subdermal hematoma on Cameron's face pops, a little pop hole, and blood squirts out of it. It's gorgeous. And then it gets so bad he begins digging the flesh from his own face.
He just runs his fingers down his face and it's like the flesh is falling off. It's awesome. I'm sorry, I like that stuff.
Oh, and look at those. I mean, oh my God, this scene is so nuts. It really is. But they cut a lot of stuff out of this scene, the stuff that was actually shot. It went too long. It made it go too long. And that's why he cut it down.
Oh, hi, Courtney.
Oh, Courtney. Hey, Courtney.
Hey, Court's here.
How are you?
Yeah, here it is. This is where he digs it off of his face. I mean, oh my God.
It is so gross, but so
Look at him
awesome
pull it
at the
off.
same time.
Look at him pull it off. Oh. And then it gets calm all of a sudden. Right this moment, there's a calmness that comes over Ironside, and you see it physically. And he becomes calm. And
at the same time, he begins to burn.
He sets himself on fire. And
you don't
I'm like,
know
what is he
that
doing?
at first. You don't know that at first.
I do. I'm watching this and I'm like, why is he doing that? What
He's
is he
letting it
planning to do
happen.
here?
That's what I think. He's letting it happen because he knows the next step.
And then this happens. I hope you don't cut it out. Please tell me you didn't cut it out.
I don't have control over that, man.
Please. There it is. This is Michael Ironside physical overacting. It's amazing.
It's so good.
And the eyes go white.
His head
and you don't know what happened. Now she finally wakes up from the drug. She's like, Cameron? Right? She wanders. Her acting is much better than mine. I'm doing it just to be silly. She gets up and she just walks in like, Cameron? Looking around. And then this is a really good effect, which she sees on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
This is really good.
She's yelling into the hallway. Guys, I'm still here, guys.
There you go. At this point, you think, at this point, you think, okay, they killed each other. They finished each other off. But
and then she says his name. Cameron? Because she senses him, I think.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you see in the corner, somebody hunched and covered in their own coat. You hear his name, his voice. But it's Michael Ironside's face, and you realize what he did.
He fucking switched bodies.
He set himself on fire and sucked him into his brain and switched places. and killed him.
But
What a
the
fantastic
scar.
ending.
What? There's no scar.
The scar's gone, the eye color is changed, and the voice is changed.
And I was good with just the voice, but
Yeah.
I'm
me too.
like, even though I'm like, that wouldn't happen. If he switched places, he would still have Michael Ironside's vocal folds. So the eyes was too far, and
Over the top, yeah. But
the scar being gone made no sense. But at the same time, I understood what Cronenberg was trying to say in
Gary.
a very quick way.
the scar never made sense throughout the movie because it kept
Well, it's
fucking
constantly
changing
moving.
place.
I know. Yeah, sometimes it was here, sometimes it was here, sometimes it was here. So
Annoying.
the whole thing with it is that he wanted to sum up in one moment and not spend a whole bunch of time explaining what happened. So he did it visually and auditorially. And you get it. That's it. Later, you kind of go, but why? It doesn't matter. He wanted to convey
the movie
the
is
idea.
1
He
hour, 40
conveyed the
minutes
idea.
long. So
Yeah. So it's a really good film. But
Well,
here's one of the scenes.
I have this
Oh,
scene
I have
just for
two.
you.
Hold on. I have
Oh,
something to show too. I said I was going to show stuff. This is one of the things that was cut out.
damn.
That was cut out. And
Oh.
this was cut out.
that is so cool.
Right after his hands were on fire, because that's what the glow is,
Hmm.
his eyes began glowing.
They should have kept that.
Then they exploded.
This looks so cool.
But it just took so long, too many steps to get to where he needed to go. And he cut out some of the steps. And I understand it. So let's show what you were going to show.
I guess that's the exploding head. Yeah.
One of the greatest moments in cinema history right here.
Just for you.
There it is.
There you
Isn't
go.
that great?
Simple but effective.
This
we
is
been
when I
taken
knew I was
down
going
yet?
to love that movie.
No, they wouldn't take us down. We're good. We should be good. But
Yeah,
I hope everybody enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. I love that movie. I really do. Scanners is just a classic film. And it's a film, in my opinion, structurally and visually stands up to today. I love the gore effects in it.
The way I read the
Great.
ending confrontation is it's what the two prioritize. So Michael Ironside's attacking the body and he's attacking the mind.
Yep. It's a damn good film. It's a damn good film. If you've never seen this movie before and enjoyed this slideshow, go see the movie. Now, I talked with Tom today. Tom and I are going to skip the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for October. We are going to focus on 2 movies this month. Number 1, Fright Night. Number
For
2,
real?
for real. Fright Night for real. And we're going to do The Lost Boys.
Right on.
And so Tom and Jerry will be doing 2 classic horror films. And we'll probably be doing some other horror films for October too. Because this is October. This is the month of horror.
I can
And
see
it's-
the disappointment in John's face. He has to wait until he can wear his shirt now.
No,
And
I'll
you know,
wear it.
Zoe is the same. You know, I raised Zoe to love Halloween. Halloween is a big, with us, the 2 big holidays were Halloween and Christmas. And Zoe still does it. She's very big on Christmas and very big on Halloween. All about decorating and doing things. And she's just loves horror. I raised her on horror. So
Yeah, that's the problem with Santa Clara. All the vampires.
you know what's so great about that is that led straight into them having to do a sequel, and they never did it. That ending, when he says that line, and everybody goes, "What the fuck did Grandpa just say?" Because they were like trying to hide everything from him, and he knew about the vampires all along.
Instead, we got 2 direct-to-videos, which third
Oh,
one's
they're
okay.
terrible.
but-
I didn't like any of them. It's like the Scanner films. I didn't like any of them, except for Scanner Cop. I never saw that one. I did not see Scanner 2, or I saw Scanner 2, didn't like it, and skipped Scanner 3. And I think there was
Did they ever do
there
a
a 4?
TV series? I'm trying to remember.
Yes, I think
Yes, they
that
did.
is-
Scanners 4 is
Scanner
also
Cop. Scanner Cop. Yep.
Yep.
Scanner Cop is 4. And I refuse to watch it.
And
1995.
there's like Scanners the Armageddon, or otherwise known as Scanner Cop 2.
Oh yeah, they announced one HBO like in 2022. God knows if it's still going on, but
ooh. There's a great photograph. Let me show that one. This is great. Share screen. There you go. Freeze frame.
Yep.
And like I said,
it'll
what they
blow
did
your mind.
is this was a hollow body. There was a shotgun aimed upward. They had the prosthetic head that was full of matter. They made a fully realistic head with brain and skull and everything, and shot it. And look at that. That's insane. That's like, God, man, the effort put into low budget horror films. Because let's go look at that. Let's go look at the Scanners 1981 budget.
2.4 million.
3.5 million.
Oh. But adjust for inflation. That's what, 10 million now?
And you know what's interesting? Well, no, it's 2.7. Well, yeah, 2.75.
And is that US or Canadian dollars?
I'm using US dollars.
Okay.
The Canadian is 4.1 million was their budget. So, but it would still, you know, for the US dollars, I don't know about Canadian. US dollars, you would multiply that by 2.7. So 2.7 times 3.5 million is how much that would be today. And for box office, let's see how it did. It grossed a total of $14.2 million in the box office.
Yeah.
Which would be equivalent to 30 million today. A little over.
Yeah, Cronenberg was one of the only Canadian filmmakers to get money from the Canadian government and actually make money for the Canadian government.
And they trick you. They trick you because at the end of the film, it says corporation. It's not a corporation. It was the government.
It doesn't work though when you just do the math for the box office money. Back then, what would it be today? Because today ticket prices are so much higher. And it doesn't really matter how much money did it make. It's about how many people did see it.
Well, that's what we've been talking about. Keith and I have been going ad nauseum on that subject, going, stop looking at the dollars and look at the numbers.
You need to look at both, really.
And when you look at how many people saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 1990 compared to how many went to see that opening weekend. Opening weekend of 1990, opening weekend, huge difference.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was close to 14 million people saw the original
film. Who can afford it these days?
I think it was 2.5 million went to see the new film, the new Turtles film. That's pathetic.
Prices are insane, man. That's a luxury, going to the movies.
Yeah, the only reason why it looks like they make money is because they're overcharging on tickets. But people aren't going to movies like they used to.
And at least a million of those were just parents struggling by kids.
Yep. Oh no! Like me, last film I went to, I think was like John Wick 4. Like you got to get something where I feel like I'm going to get something worthwhile by going to see it in cinema, because it's so expensive to go to the movies now.
That's why I go to $6 days on Tuesday.
The last thing I saw was Black Adam for our show, and because we went at the same time, Gary and I, almost. That was fun.
Now I'm going to tell you right here. E. Clay Thompson, by the way, hi, buddy. How you doing? Hope you're having a good weekend.
Hey, Clay.
The remake of Fright Night, I watched it. I enjoyed it, but I'll never watch it again because it's not going to ever be a classic like the original was. And I did not like what they did to Peter Vincent in it. I just didn't like it. But I love the actors because it was, what's his name?
David Tennant.
And the kid.
Anton Yelchin.
Yelchin was in it. He was good as Charlie Brewster, but you didn't have Evil Ed. It missed everything that made the original film awesome. It lacked.
They did?
It
I
lacked the
thought
comedy.
they had that one kid from Superbad or he was
He
like
is
a
not
proxy.
Evil Ed.
No.
He is
Yeah.
not Evil Ed. It just was not a very good film. I had problems with it, but I did like they got Chris Sarandon to play the guy on the road. I thought that was nice. But Peter Vincent was just a mess. It was a terrible character. They didn't have one of my favorite characters, Evil Ed, in it. And I felt like the dynamic of the film just wasn't there. Whereas, what a dynamic in the original film. Just the characters are so cool and interesting. And when Evil Ed gets upset with Charlie, Brewster. And I love that line too. To this day, oh Brewster, you're so cool. What a great movie! And the scene where he's turned and Peter Vincent shows up in the house, and he thinks he's going to rescue Charlie's mom, but it's actually she's working late, and he gets frightened when he sees Evil Ed now turned into a creature of the night. And he goes, but she left a note. And he starts reading the note to Peter Vincent, and she left dinner on the table. Ah!
I just love the way he screams at that scene when the cross goes against his head. He's like, ah!
Oh, he's in agony. And Peter Vincent in that scene, oh my God, he feels so much empathy in that scene when he's killed him. The kid falls back on the leg of the chair or whatever was broken, and it kills him, and he's watching him dying, and his face. Oh, what a great actor! When I just forgot his name. Oh my God, Roddy McDowall died. We lost just one of the greatest actors in the history of Hollywood.
He was a geek and he loved cinema too.
He loves cinema. He's been an actor since he was a child himself. He grew up. I remember him in, what was that movie he did with Elizabeth Taylor? Was it Black Beauty? Is that it? He's also in one of the Lassie films. I just remember growing up watching him, and Roddy McDowall was the shit. Not to mention, every one of the likable apes on Planet of the Apes movies was always him.
Yep. He was Cornelius.
He was Caesar.
Yeah.
And what was the other one he played? Didn't he play three different, or was it just Cornelius in one movie?
Cornelius and Caesar.
Cornelius in two movies, and then Caesar in two movies, right?
Was he not in the second one? I thought it was.
Then he was on the series
third
too.
one, right?
Yeah, he was in the series too, the TV series, because he was an affordable actor.
Yeah.
But I could look it up because we have the interweb. By the way, I was watching a classic episode of News Radio the other day, and Jimmy James had found this guy at a conference who is like this amazing wizard of electronics or some shit like that, and he tries to get Bill McNeil to interview him, and Bill doesn't want to interview him. And when he's forced to interview him, he just talks over him the whole show. Just every time he asks him a question, when the guy goes to respond, he just starts talking. Basically shines him on, and he tells everybody this guy's not a real deal. But later on, Dave Foley's character forces what's her name? I just forgot her name. The black radio personality on the show makes her do the interview. And during the interview with him, you discover this guy's a crazy person. He's completely insane. And she says, so computers of the future? Well, can you tell us about computers? He goes, well, I don't know too much about them. I don't own one myself. And Dave is standing out there watching this, and Jimmy's like, and then you see Bill McNeil walking up, and he goes, when are you going to learn to listen to me? And he says, wait, don't interrupt. He's getting ready to talk more about those magical machines called computers. Oh my God, love that stuff. But I will tell you, and I'm not shitting on the movie. I'm not. I will tell you, it's a fun watch. The newer version of Fright Night. I just don't think it's as good as the original, or even close to it. But I loved Anton Yelchin. My favorite thing with Anton Yelchin was, what was it? Charlie, what was that movie he made? There were going to be more
Yeah.
sequels, and he died.
What, Green Room?
No.
No, the one he sees creatures. He sees the reapers.
Yep, he sees creature. Odd Thomas.
Odd Thomas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Odd Thomas by one of my favorite authors. What is his name? He did
Dean
Phantoms was one of his, Dean Koontz, thank you. Phantoms was one of his books I read, which, don't get me wrong, I really love the book, but I actually like the film better. I thought they did a better job with the movie.
Yeah, the movie's good.
Damn good film. As Ben Affleck would say, Ben Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms. But but Odd Thomas is a really good film. And it was set to have a series of films. They were going to make more. And Anton fucking died, man. Defective car.
He died horribly.
Yeah.
Park and brake just
Pinned
didn't work.
up on the gate by was it a Bronco?
Yeah, it was whatever model car it was, there was a recall on those cars.
Yeah.
For that problem.
Might not have been a Bronco. It was.
All I know is that is just tragic death, man. Because he really had a lot of promise, man. That movie, Odd Thomas, again. We should do that one on a Saturday because I love that movie, and it's fun. It's not scary. It's got horror elements in it, but it's not scary. It's just a lot of fun. It's about this guy that sees these things and is the only one that is fully aware of them, that is also capable of stopping them from doing what they're planning to do. So it's kind of a paranormal action film is what it is. That battle in the mall is one of my favorite moments in the film.
I always love Green Room just because, especially with the ending where it's like, it's like,
that's a tough film, dude.
Oh yeah,
that's
but
tough film.
But the ending, though, especially when Patrick Stewart, who's been composed, smart the entire time, just acts completely rational, just turns, walks away as if that's going to solve everything. Like his brain just shut down at that moment. It's great.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen Green Room.
It has, in my opinion, the best revenge scenes in it at the end.
Oh, at the end where she goes, it's like, well, they were going to clean up the crime scene, so we decided to leave a crime scene of our own. I love that line at the end.
Yeah, it is a good film, but it is a rough film because it's very violent. I mean, once the violent kicks in, it's violent, and it's a tough film to watch.
The same director as Hold the Dark, right?
Go to Chili's. All right.
Oh, now I want to go to Chili's.
Now I got to tell you something. I will say this, Pinkman. I'm not a fan of Kurtzman or Abrams' Trek, but the casting was perfect.
Especially Carl Urban.
Carl Urban as Bones McCoy.
Yes,
she got everything, but my
bones.
My bones. That was how he said it. But my bones. And I love that. That's where his nickname came from. I love that. The performances in that film. His Captain Kirk, by the way, Chris Pine. Great. He nailed Kirk.
Yeah.
And
wasn't
Anton Yelchin, just like Walter Koenig, spoke Russian. And he spoke it, in my opinion, more fluently, and his accent was more accurate because he was one generation. His parents were from Russia. So he was able to do the accent perfectly. What, Martin?
Was Russian.
No, he is Russian.
Yeah. That's what Gary just said.
That's what I say. He was Russian.
I mean, it is exactly what I said. His parents were from Russia. That's what I said.
No,
Meaning,
I think he was born there.
He was raised in the United States. I don't know where he was born. I know he's raised in the United States. That's why he's accent neutral.
Now, don't get me wrong. I freaking love the McCoy from Carl Urban, but I think Gary Sinise could have been a very good McCoy too.
Who?
Gary Sinise.
Oh, Gary Sinise. Okay. You say it like
Yeah.
it's one word.
Gary
it's groovy.
Sinise.
It almost sounds like you say gas Sinise. Gas Sinise. And I'm like, gas Sinise? What the fuck is gas Sinise? Gary Sinise.
Maybe 20 years ago.
When he was younger. Yeah, he was too old by that point. By 09, yeah, he's way too old.
I'm surprised
He's
Gary
over a
Sinise
decade.
didn't try getting a Lieutenant Dan movie made.
Well, he's got the baggy eyes like DeForest Kelly.
He looks exactly
Mm.
like DeForest Kelly.
But on top of that, Carl Urban was a fan of Star Trek and a fan of Bones McCoy. And he fought for that role. He wanted it. And that made a difference to a lot of fans. And a lot of us felt that Zach was good for Spock, but I had problems with his face because Leonard has a long face. So the guy, Zach, it doesn't have a long face. His face is a normal square face. So there are angles where he just didn't look right, because if you look at Spock from the original series, he has a very long upper lip from the base of his nose down to here. His lip goes a little further. So he has a long face. And there are angles and expressions he would make that I had problems with. But I still thought he did a fairly good job. My problem with Star Trek, the relationship between him and Uhura was stupid.
Yeah. I like Simon Pegg, but I don't think he did a good Scotty at all.
No. Everybody felt like they embodied the character except for him. But ironically, it was his work on the third film that made the film enjoyable. It took the director to screw it up.
They rejected the initial script they did for being too Star Trek.
It was too cerebral. Yep. And so he had to put action in, and it was ruined. By the time they did that, it was ruined.
Peg was playing everything like he was going to the Winchester to have a pint and let everything blow over.
Yep.
I wish him and the director of Sean, they would just keep working together, because they both like something about Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg working together. They like complement each other and they make up for each other's weaknesses perfectly.
They just made those 3 movies together, the Ice Cream Trilogy.
Oh, I just looked up and saw that we're broadcasting on another channel. I'm like, what channel are we broadcasting on? I went, oh, deleted scenes.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's cool. Hi, everybody on Deleted Scenes channel.
If you are not yet subscribed to Pop Culture Minefield, please do so at this time.
Yes. Please remember to wipe your ass before you do them. And wash your hands.
And wash your hands.
Wash your hands, important.
I'm
it's your phone. It's your mobile device.
I'm hoping that with everything that's happened, I'm hoping that we're finally past this shit era that we've gone through, where everything's been about destroying and deconstructing. Because what else is there left to destroy? What else is there left to destroy?
Oh, you don't understand. Think of the line from The Untouchables. I want you to burn his house to the ground, and I want to piss on his ashes. That's how they are, because they will just keep pissing on the ashes.
The problem is the strike wasn't long enough, and they've gone right back. They're going right back to where they were with no consequences whatsoever.
No, there were plenty of consequences. Do you have any idea how many of them lost their deals and how many of them aren't coming back? The studios basically cleaned up.
I think my biggest problem with the whole thing is how many of these people call themselves writers.
Yeah, it's like it. Yeah, the entire result of everything. You also follow Cameron's Patreon where he talks about is that this helped all the elder writers, all the established ones. This hurt any up and comers.
It did. There's damage. Look, what Chris brought up earlier, and we were talking about earlier, is that damage has been done, and the damage started when we started, and we predicted the transition to entertainment being more of a thing you watch on your computer or your TV or your mobile device. And ticket sales are down massively across the board in the United States. They're up in other countries, poorer countries, but not here in the United States. People going to see movies is down hugely. The theaters closing like comic shops. And I don't think they can recover from it. Independent film is going to eventually become the established way of doing film. The major studios will become more of distribution centers and less about production. You watch, it's just the natural way things are going to go. But that's the end of the show. Shinatsky, thanks for being here. Deleted scenes, thanks, buddy. John, always good to see you, my friend. Martin Augusta Santana, thank you for all you do. I'm being sarcastic because he left out the head exploding during this live show.
Oh, stop giving him shit about that.
No, I'm going to do it because it's fun. But I want to thank everybody for being here. Thanks a lot for being here, Fat Steven Seagal. That was fun. He just dropped in. And, of course, Chris stopped by to say hi to us. I hope Keith had a good day today hanging out with his dad. I hope Tom had a good day, whatever the fuck he was doing. I don't know what he was doing. I never asked him. But we will be doing Fright Night and The Lost Boys together this month. It should be good. And I think we're going to sit down and do a little powwow maybe after the show here, what we're going to do, because I think we should do some fun horror films for this month. So, and of course, let's not forget that on Thursday, the 26th of October, we have writer-director Franklin LaLoggia will be here, where we'll be talking about his classic ghost story movie. I don't call it horror. Lady in White.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that one.
Which is based on the real haunting of the Lady in White. And then on Friday, the 27th, we will have none other than Dick Dysel, a.k.a. Count Gordeval, the great and very beloved horror TV host who I grew up with watching and was blessed to become friends with. I love that guy. I really do. And he was also a big advocate for local filmmakers. He big supporter of local film in Virginia growing up. And by the way, good news, there's a really good chance that Jim Woodward and Mike Beatty may be here, two of my childhood friends, because they grew up on them too. And Charlie wants to be here, my buddy Charlie Bruce, whom I've been friends with, 42 years. So it'll be fun.
Do not miss these shows, guys.
Nope.
And I want to thank Anima for joining us today. That was really great. We got to watch the movie beforehand.
Yeah, at twice the speed, like something like that.
And I told her, she'll be able to handle some horror films with me because of the way I will fast forward and pause and talk over the horror. And
well,
so
I told
it makes it easier for her.
I told you there's a list of horror movies that I'm prepared to watch, given that I'm physically in the same room as you, so I can grab you.
What is the list of horror films? Give me a few of them.
I don't know off the top of my head right now.
Ma, I'm doing a show. Ma, I'm doing a show. Ma, I'm doing a show. Ma, I'm doing a show.